Okie dokie, I believe we are all the way live. Hello and welcome to my graveyard. I am your host of the evening, the Cemetery Man from Salem, Mass. Always taking names and kicking candy ass, live in a living color here with you on Grande's Graveyard. Welcome back to another edition of the show where tonight we give thanks to the wonderful watchers, friends, followers, and subscribers of Grande's Graveyard. Yes, this night, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to spin the wheel as we have, I believe, 38 entrants on the wheel, and we are giving away not one, not two, but three awesome giveaways. I'm very excited tonight to be back here with you guys and giving back thanks and thanking you guys for all the support over the past few years. It means the world that we've hit this number over 1,000, and now we're over 1.5. We're at 1.6 something. So I'm very flattered and humbled and happy to have you all here. We'll also be answering your questions. I have a ton of questions from you guys that I already have on another tab over here, so I'm very excited to get to that. But let's get to the chat. Let's see who's in the house. We got Scream 7 is here. Hello, Grande. What's your favorite Scream out of 1 through 6? Well, long story short on there, Scream 1. There's no doubt that Scream 1 is the best Scream movie. Miss C is here. Ciao Grande and friends. Hello, Miss C. Mateo with a new avatar. Look at that. Ciao Grande. Big night. Congratulations again on the 1K milestone. Hi to all the Graveyardians. Let's go. Mateo, my friend. Hope all's well with you. But the monkey is here. Worst soundtrack experience from a film that you hated the movie but loved the soundtrack? That's a good question. I'll have to get back to you on that, Monkey. Let's keep introducing, saying hello to people. Let's see. Ciao, Mateo. We got the Hi Monkey. The Devious Divas here. Hey, Double D. Hope all's well with you. Cinephile Sanity's in the house. Good evening, Graveyard. Good evening, Cinephile. Hello, everyone. James Abernathy's in the house. We got Neon Black Reviews in the house. Hey, guys. We got Mayan. Hello, everyone. Congratulations, Grande. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Ryan Snyder's here. What's up, brother? I'm actually able to join live tonight. Well, hey, man, you're one of the names in the 38, my friend, so best of luck to you. Woohoo. Congrats, John. The milestone is so well-deserved. Rainbow, man, Rainbow's channel, too, has grown so much since I remember the very first live stream she ever did was on this channel. And I'm flattered that that was her first live chat experience. I remember she was nervous and I don't know, she sounded so unsure of herself. And now she has over 5,000 subscribers and can live stream like with the best of them. So I'm so humbled that you had your very first live stream show with us here. And I wish you nothing but the best, my friend. I'm very, very happy for you as well. We got Ed here. Hello. He was the first entrant in the contest. So very cool to see. Zombie Grease, aka I guess that's Quint in disguise here. Hey, welcome. Only happy to see you. Happy to see you too, Gory Corey. Good luck tonight in the competition. We got Brian White in the house. Hey, Brian. We've got, let's see, Alpha's here. Hey, Grande, congrats on the 1K, man. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Another guy that's in the competition. Got people saying hello to each other. We got Triple H, Horror Head Heather. What's up, Heather? Hope all's well with you. Congratulations. Thank you so much. You're a Beatles fan too. Awesome. Diehard Beatles guy. Oh, maybe this is not Quint. I don't know. I know there's used a guy that was named Quint that used to come on these. Oh, I think when I entered the contest, I still have my old name is Sean Blue Digital, but I guess we'll see. Well, we'll know who it is if you do end up winning, my friend. Congrats. Dirk is here. Dirk's in the competition. I think he was second one in. It's great to see you all. Congratulations, John. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Zombie Grease. Let's see. Some of the best in the biz. Absolutely. Let's see. Thank you for all the kind words, and I'm honored that you were my first. Oh, I'm honored you were here as a guest. It was really, really cool. It was, I think, me, you, Knight, and Coriander. So that was a fun show. I think the second horror roundtable. That's how long ago that was. Joe Mama's in the house. Excited for this. Welcome, Joe Mama. Hope all is well with you. All right, guys. I'm not going to keep you in suspense too long. We've got 100 wheel spins to do. So I'm not going to keep you in suspense any longer. So here we go. Here is the wheel. We'll be making a deal. We have Texas here. We got AJ here. We got a bunch of people in the house. This is how this is going to work. We've got a wheel. We got 38 names on the wheel. And it's not just one spin and whoever it lands on is the winner. No, that's not how it's going to work. We're going to spin this wheel 37 times until we get a winner here, okay? What happens is I spin you. If I land on you, I'm going to remove your name from the wheel until there is only one. And once there's one, you have a winner. And, of course, we're going to do this 2 more times. So we got 3 wheel spins, 3 giveaways. You choose the giveaway. So I know somebody was saying, hey, I don't really want the money. If I get the money, I'd rather request a graveyard show or a Blu-ray or a 4K or a DVD. That's fine. The only rule here is you can't get the $50 more than once. If somebody wants the $50 and takes it, that's it. That $50 off the table. But the Blu-ray and the wanting the show, concept and stuff, you could take that all day you want, if more than you guys want that. But we're gonna spin the wheel. Good luck, everyone. I see 37. I'm 37. Yeah, I think there's 38 people, but that means it's 37 spins till we get a winner. So, all right, everybody, cheers. Here we go. First spin. I'm about to break somebody's heart. Let's do it. Spin the wheel, make the deal. Who do we got? Oh boy. Miss C. Oh no. Miss C is the first one off the list here. Removing Miss C. Sorry, my friend. You'll have other opportunities, though. No worries. It's early. The night is young. Let's spin her again. Let's see what we got. Spin the wheel, make the deal. Who do we got? And, Mernsey, my friend Mernsey, I apologize. Not this time. But again, like I said, if you're eliminated now, no worries. We're going to do this plenty tonight. So we're going to keep spinning. Let's see who do we got next. Who do we got upcoming? Oh, Jonathan, I believe. Oh, no, almost. Okay, Jonathan. Yep, Jonathan's out. Spin the wheel, make the deal, guys. Let's do this. This is too crazy. Oh, my gosh. And Mr. Dan and Horror, thank you for playing, my friend. No worries, though. Like I said, no freaking out yet. We'll see what you guys got going on here. Let's see. Oh, that's my buddy from work, Darnell. Darnell, thank you for playing. Darnell, fun fact, when I did the test run of this, Darnell won. So Darnell will not be a repeater here, at least in this first one. We're spinning it again, though. Who do we got? We got Nick Reap, I think. Yes, Nick Reap. Next man off the totem pole. Let's do it. Spin it again. Spin her again. It's giving all this confetti for people that's eliminating. And, King Gore. Oh, my gosh. That was crazy. King Gore. Thank you for playing this round. Wow, that was cruel. I thought that was going to be Johnny for sure. Let's see. Who do we got next? Johnny's talking on tight rope here. Good buddy Darren Burrows, Q-Boy. Take him off. Spin the wheel. Let's make a deal here. Who we got? And Ryan, I believe. Ryan's the next one out. Okay. All right, so we're spinning. Let's see if we got anybody new in the chat here. Did anybody I missed here? Let's see. Is there a name graphic? We have a loser. No, it's not. Oh, this is going to be Rich. Love things like this. Zombie Grease. What's up, man? We got John Steele's in the house. Very cool. Okay, we're going to keep spinning, my friend. Let's keep spinning. Let's do it. We got 29 people left on this son of a bitch. So let's see. Oh, there you go. Johnny was playing with fire. He got it this time. Johnny's out there. Okay, spinning to win. Let's see what we got next. We got 10 people eliminated so far. Who's going to win the Royal Rumble? It's not going to be Dr. Howdy. I'll tell you that much. Dr. Howdy's off. Spinner again. Who do we got? Oh, is it going to be Nate or Fear? Oh, it's Fear. Oh, man. Fear, thank you for playing. Let's spin it again. These wedges are only going to get bigger. Let's see. Who do we got? Claybo Cop. Very close to Mr. Zetro there. AJ's playing with fire over there in Chi-Town. Spin it again. What do we got? Looks like Dan Kriegs. Thank you for playing, my friend. Spin the wheel. What do we got? 24 left, I think. And looks like my buddy Jake. Okay, no Jake here. Spinner. What do we got? Oh, Beaster. The Beaster's off this one. Next spin. Here we go. 22 left. Woo! Ed playing with fire. There goes Dirk. Okay. Spinner up. What do we got? Is that Man? That's Man. Cinderella. Final 20 now. Oh, It's our good buddy from the UK, James Abernathy. Thank you, my friend. Next spin. Who we got? Oh, that was cruel. That Central eliminated a heartbreaker. That was so cruel. I thought it was going to be Nate. Oh, man. This freaking thing is cruel, man. And we got Billy Henry. Okay. Next one. Any predictions so far? Who are we thinking? Diva, Double D. I think we got, 16 or so left? So this is getting down to it. You got a shot if you're still alive now. Oh, my God. This wheel is no freaking torture, man. Anthony Chobot. This is the wheel of torture right here, man. And JP. Okay, JP's out. Winner again. Oh, it's Mateo. Oh, man, this wheel is torture, man. Okay, how many do we have left? 13. All right, the unlucky 13 remain here. What do we got? And my good buddy Terrence, Billy Bob. Thank you, my friend. Spin it again. Ooh, okay, there goes Brian. Spin her up. Oh, man, Alpha's eliminated. All right, top 10. Who do we got? Who's winning this? Who's taking this home? Oh my God, that was cruel. Dude, that was insane. I thought it had to be Neil, man. This is crazy. Oh, and Neil's in the next one out. Oh, man. Neil played with fire only for so long, my friend. Let's see. 8 left. Here we go. Oh. And there goes Chris, one of my coworkers. Chris made it almost all the way to the end here. Oh, AJ, man. AJ fought valiantly here. Spin her up. What do we got? You say Morg takes it as Morg gets eliminated. Oh, no. Mikey's Morg. Almost. 5 left. Who do we got? And looks like Russ. Okay, that's the end of people with green. Fatal 4-way. Explorer of Horror. There goes Nate. All right, we got Ghostface, Brett, Texas, or Ed. Oh, man, it's going to be close. Oh, my God, what? This wheel is rigged. And you're a winner. Oh, it's Ed. I think it's Ed. It is Ed. Texas eliminated. Ed wins it. Give him a friggin' victory lap. Ed wins. Okay, so Ed, I know Ed said that he wanted to do, a prize number 3. So that's it, man. There we go. Ed win, baby. Ed wins. So Ed wins that one. Lucky week this week. That is a lucky one, man. OMG, crazy. No, that wheel was torture. That wheel tortured some motherfuckers, man. Like, oh my God, that was just like evil. But dude, congrats. Texas should have got LMAO. Well, he's going to have another shot right now because we do have to remove Ed. And now we're going to paste everyone again, and we're going to do it again. So Ed wins the show prep thing So Ed gets to do his own show, hypnotized by the wheel. I know, me too, right? This is crazy. But we're going to start the whole thing over again now. So we got, 37 people now. 37 people are on. We're going to spin the wheel, make the deal. All over again, guys. You're all back in except Ed. Ed is already a winner. So who's the lucky first man out here? It's Ryan. Okay, no more Ryan. Ryan goes first out on this spin. Spin her up again. What do we got? What do we got? Nate. Looks like Nate. Yep, okay. Spin her up. Spin her up. This is crazy. This wheel is so evil, man. Dr. Howdy, thanks for coming, my friend. Spin her up again. Who do we got? Who do we got? Looks like Jake. Yep, Jake. Spin her up. Have the wheel's life. Yep, congrats. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Ed, congrats, man. You get the graveyard choice of your own. Rusty, keep spinning them. I'm just trying to keep pace with this because I know we got to do this a whole nother time as well. So I'd like to buy a vowel, Alex. Absolutely. Missy got eliminated early at both of these, goddammit. She's got to win I hope she wins the last one now because I feel like she got eliminated too early in these, man. Who do we got next? Who do we got next? Mateo. Mateo's next one out. Okay. There will be no Chow unless he wins the last spins here. What do we got? And we got JP or Jonathan. Wow. So yeah, this wheel was evil. That I thought was going to be JP all day, and it was Jonathan. The many bodies in the graveyard. Yep. Grani, where's the hat broad turning the letters? Yeah, no, I'd like to solve the graveyard. Yes, Johnny Pern, the next one out. I'd like to buy it now, Alex. Spin her up, spin her up. Who do we got? Chris. Okay, Chris made it a lot deeper that first one. Spin her up again. What do we got? I'll take John Carpenter films for 500, Alex. Absolutely. Survey said, well, that would be family food, but let's see. Anthony Chobot. These like celebration things are awful too. It's like, phew. Yeah. Neon's like, yeah, woo. Knives flying out at the wheel. Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, these are crazy close to going like that. That one I thought was Mearnsey all day. This is crazy, man. What do we got? AJ. Zetro. Spin her up. Spin her up. Sean Blue. Well, Cinephile Sanity. No Sean Blue. He may be entered as Sean Blue, but he's Cinephile Sanity now. He's gimmick change. Dead Central. Okay. Kevin's a good guy. 22 to go. Who do we got? Who do we got? Brian or Dirk? Oh, man, that is fucking crazy. That was on Brian all day. These are brutal, man. I'll take Secrets of the Graveyard for 1,000. Absolutely, man. Texas almost won the first one. Street Heat. Okay, there goes JP. 20 left on this one. Who do we got? Who's winning the second prize? Is it? Oh, James. James, the next one out. And to keep you guys in line, we'll also be doing the Q&A after this, so stay tuned for that. But I know you guys are interested in winning. Billy Henry, next man out. Next man out of the semicircle here. This is the real semicircle here. Let's see. Who do we got? Who do we got? Ooh, I think Fear. Okay, next Master of Fear. Next man out. What do we got? Next spin. Next spin. What does it? Why does it feel like old game night? Yeah, this is GSN. Grande's Game Show Network. Ghostface Brett. Okay. Bingo. It's the Wheel of Hell. Yeah, this is the Wheel of Hell, man. This is an evil wheel, man. Devious Diva, thanks for coming. No worries. If you've been eliminated, again, we're gonna do this one more time after this. So then we'll be completely done with this wheel. Sorry about this. We got King Gore, I think. Yep, King Gore is next man out. Thank you, Gore Corey. Spin her up, spin her up. I think we have 14 left. Neil played with fire too long, my friend. You know what happens. You get burned. You get burned in the end. Oh, there goes Mayan. Okay. Got Mayan and Brienne right next to each other. Mayan just went and Brienne next. Let's hope not. Oh, Texas or Darren? Looks like it's going to be Texas. Dinner up. 11 left. Oh, that one's going to be Mearnsey. That one's going to be middle Mearnsey right there. All right, last 10 of this wheel. What do we got, guys? Ooh. Darnell. All right, Darnell. Close to no cigar. The losers get the board. You get the take-home DVD game. That's what you get, man. Mr. Dan. Yep, Mr. Dan. Next man out. Spin it up. Spin it up. What do we got? Oh, this is going to be close. Oh, my God. That was cool. Dude, Mikey's morgue is by like less than an inch, man. Oh, this one's going to be close, too. Claybo Cop. Final 6. Spin it. Oh, I think Darren's. Yep, here goes Darren. All right, we're down to 5. We're down to 5. Who would be the winner? It's not going to be Alpha. Fatal 4-way. Who we got? Who's winning this? We got one of each color. Oh, looks like Brian's out. All right, we got Mikey, Brienne, and Dan. Triple threat match for the WWE title. And it looks like it's coming down to Mikey and Brienne. All right, Mikey, Brienne, if you're here, good luck. Spin it. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, that's cool. Brienne wins by half a freaking set of. Oh, my God. Victory lap for Brienne. Yo, that was cruel. Mikey, I gutted for you right now. That was fucked up, man. What the hell? Holy shit. Absolutely fucking cruel. That's crazy. But congratulations, Brienne. You're the second winner. The $50, I believe, is still on the table. So if you want the $50, it's yours. If you want the show request or the Blu-ray, whatever the fuck, it's all good. You let me know, my friend, if you're catching the replay. I don't know if she's here, but wow. Yep, congrats. So sick. Bro, this wheel is kind of crazy. I'm not even going to lie to you right now. But we removed Brienne, and now we're going to paste one last time. We're spinning this wheel one last time. We still have, I just got to find Brienne's name and take her out. And then we could do this for the last time here. So, all right, guys, this is going to be the last one. Depending on what Brienne wants now, okay? But we're going to do this here. Brienne can still pick the $50 if she wants it. If not, then all 3 prizes are in play as we go to this last spin the wheel, make the deal here. Let's do it. Let's finish this show off hot. Who's going to be the first person to walk away with nothing? That'll be Dr. Howdy. No chance to win tonight, but thank you for the questions, my friend. We'll be answering them shortly here. Let's spin it around. Who do we got? Who do we got? Oh, all right. Dirk barely survived that one. Ryan Schneider, thank you for playing and for the questions. We'll be answering them very shortly here. Who do we got? Oh, I think it's old AJ. I think it's Mr. Zetro. Thank you for playing, AJ, and thank you for the questions. We'll be answering them just in a few minutes here. Let's see. Next one. Oh, man, this wheel was just evil to Dirk. I think this wheel has something against subjective perspective collective and my friend Dirk here. So we'll remove him there. Let's spin her up again. What do we got? Looks like Darnell or Street Heat. Darnell. Ooh, that was close. Thank you for the questions, Darnell. Unfortunately, no winning for you tonight, my friend. Who we got next? We've got Gory Corey. Thank you for playing, Gory Corey. Appreciate it, man. I appreciate the questions, too. Who's next? Who's next on the wheel of torture here? It's like Johnny Perna. Johnny Perna, thank you for the questions, my friend. Unfortunately, no prize for you tonight. What do we got? Who do we got? Oh, woo! Gross Space Brett survives by a freaking centimeter there. Spin her up, spin her up. Devo or Brian? Who do we got? Oh, it's Brian. Brian, thank you for playing. Thank you for the questions, my friend. Let's see. Who do we got next? Who's going next? Oh, Jake and Merdsy together, but it's Jake, unfortunately, that's going to have to bite the bullet here. Spin her up. Who do we got? Who do we got? Anthony Chobot? Yes, Anthony Chobot. Thank you for playing, my friend. Spin her up. Mr. Dan, thank you so much for playing, my friend. This wheel is evil, man. Oh, no. There goes, no, yeah, there goes Sean. Sean, thank you for playing, for all the support, my friend. We'll be answering your questions shortly. Spin her up, spin her up. Who do we got next? Oh, man, we got two diehard graveyard guys back-to-back getting the boot. Coach Face Brett, thanks for playing. Wow, three hardcore. This is Christ. This is like three of my biggest best supporters, man, all in a row. Real evil. Evil, I tell you. And, ooh, Rusty just makes that one. Reef is the next man out. All right, 20 left, 20 names. 19 spins. I guess 20 if you include the victory lap. Mikey was so close in the last one. The runner-up. Mikey's going home there. Next one up. Who do we got? Good brother Kevin from Death Central. Kevin, thank you for the questions and support. Sorry, no prize tonight. Spin it up, spin it up. And we got, Miss C. That was her deepest run. Miss C, one of the best graveyard supporters and good friends of mine. Thank you so much, Miss C, for the questions. We'll be answering those shortly. No prize, unfortunately. Next one looks like Chris. Chris made it pretty deep in two of these. So, Chris, thank you for playing. Thank you for the questions. Appreciate the support, brother. Spin it up. What do we got? This is going to be close. Ooh, Neil, playing with fire, my friend. Billy Bob, next man out. Good, thank you for playing team. Who we got? Who do we got? Ooh, close one. I think it's going to be Nate. Yeah, Nate's out. All right, Nate, thank you for playing. Final 14, Final Frontier. Fatal 14 way. And it looks like Dan, who I think was Final 2 or Final 4 in the last one, I think. Or Final 3, maybe. I don't know. Dan made it really far in that second run. Holy shit. Looks like Texas. Okay. Texas, thanks for playing. We got 12 left, people. 12 left. Who do we got our money on? Fortunately, it's not going to be Devious Diva, but thank you so much for the kind words and support as always, my friend. Excited to get to your questions. I think we might have been the last entrant. It was either you or Brian. Let's see. Cinderella, Mayan, I think. Yep, it's going to be Cinderella. All right, final 10. Here we go. Spin the wheel, make a deal. Who do we got? I have to say ciao to my friend Mateo. Mateo, top 10, my friend. Who's next? Ooh, Mersey just hangs in there, and Street Heat's going home. Not a good round to be yellow so far. A lot of yellow getting kicked. Oh, did I jinx somebody? Nope. Looks like it's going to be a blue man. The blue man group, Rusty, next man. Down to 7. Game 7. Who do we got? Ooh. Oh, man. Alpha survived. I thought you were toast, my friend. Darren's going home. Final 6. That was close, man. Holy moly. Oh, brother Neil, I think you made it deep in pretty much all of these. Not there, though. Not there. Final 5. Who's our money on, guys? Who's our money on? Oh, it's not going to be Alpha. Oh, no. Alpha's eliminated. We are down to 4. Jonathan, Mersey, Fear, and Billy. Who's going home the winner of the 3rd and final round here? Doesn't look like it's going to be Jonathan. All right, Jonathan's out. We are down to 3. Oh, man. All right, Mersey's Movie Mansion. And we're down to the last 2 here, everybody. Let's spin it. And looks like Billy Henry's our winner. Billy Henry, the winner of the last spin the wheel, make the deal, remove. He could do his victory lap. Billy Henry is the W. So, Billy, congratulations, my friend. We've had him on the graveyard more than a few times in the past. So, thank you so much for playing. Everybody that supported and was a part of this, that was a lot of fun. Sorry if I made anyone dizzy from these things. And if I missed a ton of comments, sorry. Some rat was necessary. Absolutely, Master of Fear. Always a bridesmaid, never the bride. Oh my gosh. Congrats to the winners. Absolutely. If you're not here live, I don't know if Billy, I didn't see Billy or Brienne comment. So I will have to reach out to them. I think Ed was here when he has announced the winner. So they can absolutely let me know what they want as their prize. Congrats to the winners. It was a very fun contest, Grani, and thanks for the opportunity. Dude, absolutely. This was a lot of fun. I liked the spin the wheel, as evil as it was, man. I did. But yeah, no. So everybody, thank you so much for joining. This is probably the part of the show where people, all right, click out. But this is the part where I'm done giving out prizes. I'm actually going to answer your questions. So we're going to do a screen share here. If you care to hear where your questions were answered, we're going to answer them right in order here as they were posted. So let me go here. We'll share this. And I think, yeah, we'll go right down to the bottom here. And I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see. Yeah, I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see that. So we might just keep this on me. Yeah, we'll just keep this on me. That's no big deal. Okay, so the first question was from Ed, who ended up winning. So that's crazy. Who would you like to meet in Horror World, dead or alive? That's a good question. Horror World, dead or alive? I'm going to immediately just go dead because it's like, obviously you don't have the chance to meet them anymore. There's a few. I would love to meet Fulci. Fulci would be like the first one that comes to brain. I definitely think that Fulci would have been a cool guy to meet. I know I've heard opposing stories. I've heard he wasn't the greatest guy around women. I've heard that he was fun. I heard that he was crazy. I would have loved to have met Lucio. I think Lucio would be my answer to that. I know David Emge just passed a few days ago. He's a guy that I would have loved to have met. I went to the Living Dead weekend over this past summer, and it was so, really cool to meet Scott and Ken and Galen and John Amplis and Richard France and all these people. David Emge was like the sore thumb of the ones I didn't get to meet. And unfortunately, I was told that weekend he was in bad health. And then unfortunately, just a few days ago. So rest in peace, David Emge. He's somebody I would have really liked to have met. And then as far as other guys, I mean, I did get to meet Romero. He's gone, and it was such a cool experience to meet him. Craven would be one I would have loved to have met at some point or another. I think Wes Craven seemed cool. Toby, would have loved to have met Toby. Definitely would have. I don't know. There's quite a few that stand out, but I would say Lucio. I would say Lucio Fulci would be the main one there. Everyone is a winner. Here's to another day above grass. Absolutely. Congratulations. Q&A time. That was fun. Now answer some damn questions. Okay, fair enough. Congratulations to all the winners. Yeah, no, guys, congratulations. That was crazy. I was going to pre-record it, but I was like, no, I'll be crazier live. People will be able to go nuts live. But the only fact subjective, absolutely, Savini. I don't want to meet Savini. Savini was there, and I had the chance to meet him, and I just was like, no. And then I know Alpha was telling me, he was like, man, I can't tell you how many people came up to me and were like so disappointed about Savini. I'm like, dude, that's what I'm trying to avoid too. Like, I don't want to be meeting him and being disappointed in him, because it's like at that point, it's like, why? Like, what is the? I don't want to do this and be sad or disappointed or whatever. So, I mean, it is what it is. Ed says, congratulations to me. Absolutely, Ed, man. Ed is chilling tonight, man. That is such a crazy one. There's a riot in my apartment right now. Texas, I'm so sorry. I think Texas came, second or third in one of those? Holy shit, man. That wheel was cruel. And then the next question from Ed was, if you could choose any horror location in the world to travel to, what would you choose? Money is no limit. So before this past summer, I would have told you the Monroeville Mall, because that's where they shot Dawn of the Dead, but I actually got to go this past summer. So I can't say there anymore. As far as places I'd like to go in the future, and I didn't have, any financial limit. That's an interesting question. I would probably choose somewhere in Italy, like wherever Suspiria was shot, or where Deep Red was shot, or even the museum from the Stendhal syndrome, that famous museum in Italy. I would love to go there. That's tough. I would actually love to visit the Seiki house in Japan. I would love to go to Japan and visit wherever they shot the Ju-on films. I think that house, it would be so cool to visit. I don't know. I guess those off the top of my head would be the ones that I'd want to. If you're saying like, money's no limit, I think I'd have to go for an expensive one. Like, there are places in the U.S. that I could probably do, like the Friday the 13th camp, I believe, is in New Jersey. I don't think that's a bad drive. I know the Tales from the Dark Side, where they filmed that intro, where it's "Man lives in the sunlit world." Like that intro, that's in Pennsylvania somewhere. It's in like Bumblefuck, PA. That's one I always wanted to like visit and see that like in person. But if I'm going bigger, I would say either it's Italy for like an Argento film site, wouldn't really matter which. And then probably Japan. I would want to go to the Ju-on house. Japan is like my dream vacation. I'd like to go. Worst soundtrack experience from a film that you hated but ended up loving the soundtrack. Okay. See, I have plenty of the other way around, where I like the film and I think the soundtrack is shitty, but bad soundtrack from film I hated, but the soundtrack I liked. That's really hard. What the fuck, man? I can't think of one for that. That is just such a tough question. I got to get back to you. Got to think about that. Never meet your idols, man. Grant, if you had a chance to remake any film, which would it be, or which remake would you trash and redo? That's actually one of the questions on here. So we will get to that, Mr. Steele. No worries. Calm the mofos held down. Yeah. Any of those can't argue. Come to Evansville. I'll take you to the Roseanne house. Oh, hell yeah. I know that you've been to like where they shot Creep Show. You've been to where they shot Martin, which is in Braddock, which I drove through Braddock and I was kind of scared for my life. Let's go, John. Stendhal is in Florence. You be my guest. Enters of cow sandwiches like there's no tomorrow. Mateo, I'll take you up on that. I would love to go to Florence with you and have some cow sandwiches. It had a funny name too. We were saying it was like Apretotto, something like that. It was funny, man. That was really funny, man. But yeah, no, I would say that. I would say the Florence Museum for Stendhal, or for the Japan Ju-on house, the Seiki house. The next questions come from Dirk. Dirk says, what film hooked you with the giallo? And any genre film, who's your favorite Italian director? Favorite Italian director is easy. That would be Argento. That would be the maestro. There'd be no doubt about that. And what film hooked me into giallo? Probably either Baba's Bay of Blood or Argento's Deep Red. I would say those are probably the first two. Because Friday the 13th introduced me to Twitch of the Death Nerve because of the shish kebab kill in Friday the 13th 2. And then I was like, I really want to see the movie that, this kill was inspired by. And then I went back and I watched Bay of Blood. I think Bay of Blood was the first giallo I ever watched. And then fast forward, Deep Red, I think arguably is the greatest giallo of all time. So I would say either one of those two. Probably Bay of Blood is the one that got me into it. And then Deep Red was the one where I was like, wow, this is an incredible genre. Like, what else do we have here? Pretty sure it's on my end. Is anyone else seeing Grande flickering like a madman? Oh, I hope not. I don't know. I've been up by the Conjuring house. That's awesome. Juno's here. Hey, Grande, I recently did an epic rant on Halloween Ends, ripping in a new ass. Coming soon with rants on gutter balls and night swim. Well, welcome, Juno. Hope all is well with you. And I'm sure if you guys like to hear rants, those would be awesome rants. I'm going to camp at Conjuring House this year. No way. That's so cool. Juno, my brother, brave, devious, absolutely brave. Yeah, be careful at, 3:16 or 3:15 a.m., something like that from the movie. People saying hi. It stopped now. I don't know. I don't know if I'm glitchy. Sorry. My thing hasn't said any poor, connection or anything at this point. It'll be fun time. I'm pretty fearless. Hell yeah. Juno, you won the contest and Grande shipped that. No. I don't even think Juno entered, actually. Gutterball's a masterpiece, so there. Oh shit. Now I love the intro to Gutterballs, like the title sequence, but the rest of it, I don't know. The rest of it goes a little too fucking hardcore for me, man. Juno, welcome to the graveyard. Hell yeah, man. To be fair, Grande, mine is Mamma Mia. Here we go again, the sequel with Cher. Oh yeah. I'm so sorry. That question is so difficult to me. Like, I'm trying to think of a movie I hate, but I think the soundtrack is good. Like, just playing movies where I think the movie's great and the soundtrack's great, but a movie where I think just the movie is bad and the soundtrack's killer. Oh, here you go. How about the piece of shit Suicide Squad movie, the first one? That has great soundtrack and it's a terrible movie. That would be my answer to that. So there, finally dawned on me. Serbian film is up there. Okay, so those are Dirk's two questions. He says, congratulations, you deserve it, brother. Thank you so much, Dirk. Appreciate that. Next questions come from our good friend Ryan Snyder. Congrats, bro. So happy for you. Thank you. Question, what's one horror movie that if you could see it again for the first time, what would it be? Wow, that's a good question. Horror movie that I could see again for the first time. What would it be? I like the original Saw. I almost wish I could see Saw again without knowing the ending because I was so fucking shocked when I saw it. I thought that was one where I was just like fucking blown away. But then again, like Dawn of the Dead is my favorite all-time movie, so I would lean there in some way just to experience for the first time again. The original Friday the 13th was like the first horror movie I ever remember renting. So that's one where it just brings you back to a moment in time of your life. Texas Chainsaw Massacre was so surreal. Like, that was so surreal when I first saw that. Absolutely surreal. Let's see. Bro, Serbian Gutterballs needs to be a thing. Suicide Squad sucked. LO, but it's a good soundtrack. There's one of our winners, Brienne. I don't know if you were here, but you won one of the spins. So your choice of Blu-ray, 4K, or $50 gift card, or graveyard choice. So that is your choice, my friend. I would have liked to see Driller Killer in the theater. Okay. Great pick, Grande. Thank God Margot Robbie got saved by Barbie. Absolutely. Yeah, Diva, that rant was right to get through the boring-ass movie. I got pizza with peppers on them, Steel. Oh, hell yeah, man. Yeah, no, that movie stinks. That movie really stinks. Like, it's such a shame. It has a good cast, but it was just poorly directed. David Ayer, I think. David S. Ayer directed that. That movie stunk, man. Brienne didn't even know. Yeah, you won. You won this. I think it was the second giveaway. Brienne won that one. LMAO Corey, what horror radio show would you have loved to be remade? Because radio drama was big in the early century. Night Swim was just a boring ass version of Amityville Horror. It was exactly like the Amityville Horror sequels. Like, I saw it just a couple weeks ago, and it was exactly like Amityville It's About Time or Amityville fucking, Dollhouse. It was so similar to those movies, but with like PG-13. They basically structured Suicide Squad around the music. What a mess. Welcome, Anthony. Hope all is well. Brienne says, I told you. Brienne, you are sidekick. She told me, she's like, I got a good feeling about this. 1 out of 38 or whatever chance, and she got it, man. The first Suicide Squad is not good. I love the Suicide Squad film directed by James Gunn. Yes, I like the James Gunn one as well, but the first one was terrible, but it did have an awesome soundtrack. So let's see. So yeah, I would say Saw for the first question from Ryan. Second question was, if you could pick any horror icon to go on vacation with, who would you pick and why? It's a good question. I would say, this is a weird one, but I would say Jeffrey Combs. I think Jeffrey Combs would be so much fun to chill with and go on vacation with. And like, I would love to hear road stories from Jeffrey Combs, of course, from Reanimator fame and, Masters of Horror and, so many awesome roles for Jeffrey Combs. I would say him. I would totally say Jeffrey Combs would be a cool one. big old music video, Tony. Am I the only one not a fan of Margot Robbie? I like Margot Robbie. Congratulations, Brienne. Yeah, Night Some sucked. I was trying to figure out if that was Kurt Russell's son. Yeah, it was him. That's Wyatt Russell. Yeah, he's a weird looking guy. He looks like an elf. But, pretty cool to see Kurt's son in a movie like that. Next questions come from Alpha Romero, 88. Congratulations, man. Shit, you may hit 2K before you get to the 1K stream. Yeah, we blew up out of nowhere and then halted. So I have no idea what the algorithm is or how it works, but it gave us this show here tonight. So pretty cool. If you could go back in time and watch any horror movie for the first time again, what would it be? Well, yeah, this is a similar question to what we just had. You didn't say horror movie, though. You said any movie. So any movie, we'll go with a regular one, I guess. I would say, this is going to sound weird, but the Monsters, Inc. I would say Monsters, Inc. would be the one that I would love to watch again for the first time. Because, you always hear people tell the stories of, oh, when I was a kid, I saw King Kong when they opened the doors and Kong was revealed. And that was my big movie moment where I knew what I wanted to watch was movies for the rest of my life. Or you hear people tell the story about the Wizard of Oz and how when Dorothy opens the door from the black and white boring world of Kansas to the wonderful world of Oz and the color, they say that that's the moments in movies that made their eyes bulge in the theater. And they were like, wow, I love film. I love cinema. For me, that moment came when I saw Monsters, Inc. in the theater I think it was the age of 4. I think I was 4 years old when Monsters, Inc. came out in the theater. And I remember the scene where Mike, Sully, and Boo are on the door and they go into that giant closet factory. And it's every single kid's closet from all around the world. And I remember my eyes bulging and I remember leaning up in my seat in the theater being like, I love movies. That was the minute where I decided, I was like, I love movies. So that would be the one for me. I would say Monsters, Inc. because that was the big moment where I was like, yeah, I love these. I love movies. There's no doubt about that. So that's what I would say to that. And then if you could remake any movie ever, what would you choose? Now, I had a few people ask me if I'd remake horror movies. So I would say I'll also go with the remake a regular movie here, not a horror movie. It's just a remake of a standard film. Which is a tough fucking question, to be perfectly honest with you. I have not thought about it. Remake any standard regular movie. What I think of immediately is Star Wars, because so many of those movies have potential or just aren't the greatest. I love the OG trilogy. I like maybe 2 of the prequels. Attack of the Clones never hit. So maybe right off the bat, I would lean towards maybe trying to remake an Attack of the Clones, but at the same time, I don't know if anybody could save that movie. It just seems kind of like a blah movie. Remake any normal film, not horror. That is really hard. I'm looking at the DVD rack of fuck here, and I'm having a hard time because it's if I love the movie, I don't really want to remake it because then it's you're just in an impossible place. This is technically a horror movie though. How about this? I would say this. This is going to be kind of a cheat to this answer, so I apologize. But because it's kind of a horror movie, The Love Butcher would be my answer. I love The Love Butcher, and I think that's a movie that deserves more recognition and would actually possibly benefit from a remake with a little bit more money. You could keep the same actor if somehow. Obviously, I know that movie came out almost 40, 50 years ago. I think it's 1975. So you're talking almost 50 years ago. But that would be the one. I love The Love Butcher. I always thought that was a really fun Don Jones film that definitely deserves more love. And I think a remake could almost benefit it in a way to give it more exposure. But that's just me. So, yeah, it's kind of a horror movie. So sorry about that. But I'll be honest, I never thought that the second Suicide Squad was any better. See, I think the second one was a lot better. I think James Gunn is a lot better filmmaker than David S. Ayer or Goyer or whatever the fuck that guy's name is. I thought it was an improvement. I don't think it was the greatest thing. I don't think Suicide Squad 2 was the greatest thing in the world, but I thought it was an improvement over the first one, where the first one I just thought was a mess from top to bottom. He does look like an elf. Yeah. I'd go with Jeffrey 2, hopefully to Island. And I Know What You Did Last Summer 2 with Jack Black as a, of course, Jamaican. That's pretty funny. Grani, what movie do you think is a piece of shit that you ever before or now? That I ever what before or now? Russell was in Falcon and Winter Soldier. That's right. And John is right. Why it does look like an elf. Yes. This is the year of trash at the theater. Is it? It's still January. Well, January is when the trash generally comes out. Yeah. New movies suck. Holy shit. I don't know. I never like any horror movies that come out. I'm stuck back in the 90s when I grew up. I can tell if you could tell I'm old. No, love it. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm all right, Neon. Let's go 2025. All right. Haha, Sean, you're right. This will be the year for trash movies. Blumhouse is the new Bumhouse, or I've heard some call him Cum House. Remake Iron Claw. Oh shit, that's a great choice. Yes. Yeah, I will. I'm sorry, Anthony. I'm gonna agree with that. I'm gonna have to steal that one. Yes. You guys are funny tonight. What movie do you think is underrated that got crapped on? The Lodge. That's the first one that always would come to my mind. The Lodge. I don't understand why it's a hated movie. I'd rather suck a ball through a garden hose than try to remake Attack of the Clones. Okay. I'm sure I would love to remake the movie The Third Man. Okay, cool. Slasher Fred, welcome. January is typically a dumping ground of shit. Yep, yes, it is. It's a dump month. Grande, what movie do you think is a piece of shit that you have ever seen? For me, it's a Serbian film. So just any movie that I think is a piece of shit. Oh my God, how long do you have? What I mean, shit. I throw a rock and you've hit a bad movie that I've seen. February is another month that doesn't have many bangers. Yeah, usually March, April is when they start picking up. I liked Flower Moon. Just saying, I liked Flower Moon, but it was too long. Please don't remake Hereditary. I will not remake Hereditary. That's a bunch of nonsense. I watched the fug out of Flower Moon. I liked Flower Moon. I thought Flower Moon was good. Just was too long. But thank you, Alpha, for the questions. Let's move on into Texas, who asked if I could remake any horror film, what would it be? Wow. I would say something that's been done a bunch just so I could just do my own like movie. Like, so I would say like Dracula and Frankenstein have been done a lot. But you know what? I would say this. I would want to do Frankenstein versus Dracula and remake that because that's a movie that the title and the cover are the only good things about it. The movie itself is terrible. So I would say remake Frankenstein versus Dracula and do it properly. And I remember one of the shows where I did the verses or like Monster Mash show, I did my own layout booking of Dracula versus Frankenstein, where it would have like Dracula be killing off people in the town, and then of course kills off a little girl that's befriended the Frankenstein's monster, and then Frankenstein's monster goes to avenge and fights Dracula. I thought that would be an awesome movie. So I would say that I would remake Frankenstein versus Dracula. I think that would be awesome. And then the second question he has, if you booked your own concert, who would be the 3 bands you'd choose? Wow. I'd have these guys open. You have to have the Beatles. If you're doing an all-time concert and the Beatles aren't in it, I think you're either crazy or you don't like the Beatles, which basically you're crazy. So Beatles would open. Then I'd say Black Sabbath. I think Black Sabbath was just revolutionary to music. One of my favorite bands of all time. I love Black Sabbath. And then my all-time favorite band is the Doors. I love Jim Morrison. I love the Doors. Raymond Zara. Like such a big fan of that band. It's weird. It's like I've never taken a drug in my life, but I love psychedelic rock. Like I love it. Like I love fucking all of psychedelic rock. I think it's just such a great genre of music and I can listen to it forever. So yeah, I'd say the Beatles would open, Sabbath would be the middle, and Morrison would close. Morrison Hotel would close. I think that'd be really, really cool. Like dream concert for me. But again, ton of music I like. Remake Blood Diner, that would be hard. That would be so hard to remake Blood Diner in today's day and age. I don't hate the Lodge, I just think it's horribly depressing. Fair enough. Master Fear is here. Fear, welcome. Fear, you made it really long in one of the spins. Welcome, my friend. Hereditary is pure greatness. Remake Species. Well, I don't know. Could Species be remade now? Like, I feel like that movie is such a product of the 90s. I feel like they remade Species now, it would just be a man alien, and it would totally be a man alien. Like it would be like what fucking man is like over right now? I don't know. It would be fucking Timothy Chalamet as fucking Species, man. I'd remake Bohemian Rhapsody and make it historically accurate. That's a good one. What's next in the directing future? That's a great question. Thank you, Don. I have an idea, and I know somebody asked later on, so we'll get there, I guess, later on, is like what I want to do next. So I'll keep that one for that. Someone did ask that, so I'll keep that for there, but I will answer it. Invasion of the Body Snatchers have been remade 3 times. Yeah, that's one you could try. Species remake. Argentina already remade Dracula, and it was bad. What horror prequel would you love to do? Horror prequel I would love to do. Wow. I never even thought of that. I don't know. That's a really, I gotta have to get back to you on that one, Fred. I don't know. Thanks, Grande. Excellent answers. Texas, great questions, man. What's up, Don? That's a really good question. Jim Morrison, hell yeah. You could remake Dick Shark. There you go. It's sad that we can't even assume a good remake is possible for some movies in today's time. The bar is low. Oh, it's never been lower. That's true. I'm still stuck on this one. Horror prequel that I'd love to do. I don't know. It's so hard. Doing prequels is tough because it's like you'd have to fucking, you know that the people are going to survive it because it has to be the sequel. So it's like very tough to distinguish. How about maybe do Fright Night and like Jerry Dandridge wherever he was before he got there? That would be interesting, and just do like another story like that. But again, I don't know. That sounds like, even thinking that makes me think it's maybe shit. Have you done my questions yet? Just wondering. No, you're here. You're here in time. No worries. What's up, Darren? How you been? LO True, nobody will be remaking Night Swim. I have Ernie and the band open. Queen does middle. Metallica. But see, Metallica would be definitely in the conversation for me too. Like if you want to substitute Sabbath or the Beatles for Metallica, I could see that. But I would keep those three. I think those three would put on a kick-ass show. Next questions come from, let's see, Darren. Darren says, apart from Alice, Sweet Alice, which is actually right above my head every week now, what other American gialli do you like? And do you like any 1940s films? Spiral Staircase is my favorite. Darren, thank you for the questions. As for your first question, I saw one not too long ago that was an American gialli called The Editor. I believe it came out in 2014. Really, really good throwback to what, 70s giallo were. I thought The Editor was fantastic, and I believe it was an American-Canadian production, so I thought that was fantastic. I really liked The Editor. That would be my answer to that. And then, me and Mateo talked about a few of the De Palma ones, and, we talked about Cruising, we talked about Body Double. Those are movies that are American giallo-esque, so I would say those are fantastic. And do I like any 40s films? Absolutely. You didn't say specifically horror. My mind immediately jumps to like It's a Wonderful Life, The Best Years of Our Lives, Philadelphia Story, White Heat with James Cagney, fucking Arsenic and Old Lace. Not Blood and Black Lace, but Arsenic and Old Lace. Those are great movies. I like plenty of movies from the 40s. My grandmother, I have to always thank her. She got me into so much cinema, not just, I know horror fans, we usually go from 60 onward, but like I was so in 30s and 40s and 50s and movies that weren't just horror from her. So I always have to thank her from that. She actually it would have been her, I think, 87th birthday just a few days ago. So may she rest in peace. Let's see, Mad Men prequel. That would be awesome. I don't know. I don't think prequel much. Usually if the question is, what's sequel? But prequel is a good question. You do Black Christmas prequel. Where was Billy before he got to the fucking house? It'd be interesting. I don't know. That's a really, really good question. I think that Alien is sort of a remake of the 58 movie It, The Terror from Beyond. Life Force prequel. Oh my God. Anything to get Matilda May, right? I'm very well, Don. Thanks. Hope all's good with you and your family. Good pick, Don. Metallica, as long as they play the songs from their first 3 albums only. Fair enough. Tom is here. Tom, welcome, my friend. Prequel to The Fog would be fun. Or Christine. Yeah, no, that would be awesome. Any like Carpenter, like, or even They Live. You would totally do one for They Live, because They Live is like Roddy Piper exposes them, destroys the satellite at the end, and then it's like they're exposed. But it would be cool to see if like somebody else uncovered it and didn't quite get to the point of destroying the satellite at the end. That would be cool. I like all those Carpenter movies. Prince of Darkness, so many good Carpenter movies that you could do. Let's see. It's not letting me click right now. I don't know why. All right, my clicking is frozen. Here you go. I think a prequel they could do would be like Crystal Lake prequel about the stuff that happened before Jason. Well, they're doing that. They're actually doing that now. And it's going to be a show for A24. So that's going to happen. Is The Editor the one with the bloody film reel on the cover? Yes, sir. And it's awesome. I want a Mad Men World Tour, and he just plays the theme song for 2 hours straight. Lore of the Campfire. Awesome. What did you know? They're doing a remake of It's a Wonderful Life. Oh, yeah. Yep. Steel. I love It's a Wonderful Life. So do I. Used to own that one. LOL Me Too Steel. Just couldn't get into it. It's a Wonderful Life is my all-time favorite movie. That's a great one. One of the best Christmas movies. Yeah, it's a Wonderful Life is great. I love that movie. So that would be some of my favorites from the 40s. Thank you again, Darren. Mikey's Morgue is the next questions. Let's see. Nacho, congratulations on your success. Here's to more in the future. Thank you. What was the first horror movie you saw? Friday the 13th. That's a quick answer right there. That was the first horror movie I saw. And then if you're even going predating that, Buffy the Vampire Slayer with Christy Swanson and Luke Perry, may he rest in peace. I saw that I was even younger, and I saw it on TV, and that's like one of the earliest memories I ever have of horror was that movie, which is so weird. I know everyone remembers the show with Sarah Michelle Gellar, and it's a great show, but I loved the movie more. I always liked the movie. The clicketing has begun. Yeah, sorry. LO Mikey is the only one who calls Grande Nacho. It's funny. When I took Spanish class in high school and middle school, that was always what the Spanish teachers would call me. They would call me Nacho because my last name is Grande. So it's always Nacho. I remember you chose your own name. Like you could be Pedro. I was Pedro when I selected, and they were like, Pedro. They were like, you have to be Nacho. Your last name's Grande. And so, yeah, no, Mikey sticks to that. Mikey's the only one that does call me Nacho, but I'm flattered. So he also asks, what's the sickest, most disgusting horror movie I've ever seen? Wow. Any of the August Underground, Serbian Film. Those are like sick, disturbing. Antichrist is pretty sick. I mean, a woman cuts off her clit. That's pretty nuts. Human Centipede 2 and 3 are pretty vile. The American Guinea Pig movies, the vomit gore movies, the fucking gutter balls is pretty nuts. Tokyo Gore Police is insane, but in like a classy way, like compared to the ones I just mentioned. So yeah, no, those are the ones I'd say. First horror movie I ever saw was Shock from '77. That's an awesome movie. That's Baba's last film, I believe. I think I've said it before, but I don't remember if I've said it to you. My first horror film was Freddy versus Jason. You have told me that. Yes, that's an awesome one. Triple P all day, every day. Thank you, Don, man. Thank you so much for that. That's so nice of you. So yeah, those would be my answers to that. Thank you so much, Mikey. Next questions come from our good friend, Mateo. Ciao Grande. Congratulations. Well, more than well-deserved. Best Michael Keaton movie. I'm sorry, Mateo. I can't answer that right now because we're doing a Michael Keaton actor spotlight in just a few weeks. So I will give you the answer then, although I'm almost positive you know the answer because I think we've talked about it before. So that will be a mystery until we get to that show. And the next question he says was the quote used in the video Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind? Yes, it was. That was the one. So, Mateo, thank you for the questions, my friend. I appreciate them very much. My first horror movie was Halloween. That's an awesome one. Not many like Shock. Good to see Shock love. I like Shock. I think it's a good one. It's not Baba's best, but it's certainly far from his worst. And it's, for a movie that's a swan song, I think it's a lot better than a lot of other, like it's a lot better than The Ward. It's a lot better than My Soul to Take. It's a lot better than Argento's Black Glasses. It's a lot better than those movies. So I don't know. That would just be me. Neil's next question. Neil Black Reviews. Congrats, John. Glad to see those subs adding up. You deserve it. Thank you, my friend. First question. If you could have any 3 Blu-rays or DVDs that are out of print, which ones would you choose? Second of all, which of your physical media, which is your absolute favorite and why? Wow, that's a good question. Best physical media, I would say either the Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 sequels that are out of print that I have, and then the Dawn of the Dead signed Blu-ray from George, because that was such a special moment. Like that was like, I met the number one person in horror I ever wanted to meet. He signed my favorite movie of all time, and that Blu-ray is out of print to boot. So that's number one prized possession. As far as 3 DVDs or Blues that are OOP that I want, the Madman DVD from Anchor Bay has got to be the number one answer to that. Because, of course, I don't know how many people know or nerds of Madman like I am, but like the Anchor Bay DVD of Madman is the only DVD or release of that movie ever that kept the blue hue and didn't do the color correcting. because once you get to Code Red, once you get to Vincent, they have the color corrected like orange tints to the film. And I feel like that just totally ruins some of the vibe and atmosphere that Madman brings and that great cinematography. And I always like the number one most coveted DVD that had that was the Anchor Bay DVD release of Madman, of that red cover of Madman in the trees. Absolutely, undoubtedly the DVD that's eluded me my entire life. I have tried so hard to get it by not spending a lot of money, but it just always seems to fucking be that way. Like it's always like, oh, it's $100, it's $50. I remember Whopper was selling it for cheap and somebody beat me to it. And then Dead Pit was selling it cheap, but somebody beat me to it. Like every single time I found a deal, somebody beat me to it. So that DVD is just not meant to be in my collection. Madman DVD would be my number one answer to that. Other ones, I would say the Sleepaway Camp Red Cross, the one that Best Buy exclusive, the Red Cross trilogy set that was pulled from shelves because it had the Red Cross on it. Always wanted that just because it's so crazy that the Red Cross actually got offended by the Sleepaway Camp movies being released. That was always one where I was like, I want that so badly. And then I'll try to throw a Blu-ray in there. I would say, how about the Carrie and Carrie the Rage 2 Blu-ray double feature from Shout Factory? That's one I always wanted, and it went out of print immediately. So those are two that I would definitely or three that I would definitely really want. Let's see. If you have to choose 5 best death scenes in a horror movie, which one would you choose? The 5 of the best death scenes in any horror movie. Wow. Number 1 would be here. Uncut the flagpole. That's one of the best kills ever to me. I also love the outhouse of shit in Sleepaway Camp 2. That would be those would probably be up there as my top favorites. Best other kills, man. Jason has quite a few of them. I love the Freddy Krueger kill in part 4 with the lady she's doing like the bench presses, and he breaks her arms and then she becomes a roach and she's in the Roach Motel and gets squished. That's one of my favorite kills ever. And Screaming Mad George, the effects from him, just amazing. Garbage Day would have to be there. I love that death scene. That's just so fucking funny and memorable. It's literally quoted. It's the thing that everyone remembers from that movie is Eric Freeman shouting Garbage Day and shooting an innocent man, taking out his garbage. It doesn't get much more funny than that. And then I would say Terry McMinn getting the hook in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That always fucking really, you don't see anything, but man, you're like, oh man, that's a great one, man. Shock has a jump scare that's up there with Exorcist 3. Totally agree with that. Shock is half and half movie for me. It's on YouTube too, I think. And that jump scare has been repeated a million times. Great performance by Nickelodeon. Absolutely love Daria Nickelodeon. If Down by the Bay was inspired by a kid song, what kid song would inspire your second short? Oh, wow. Wow. Jesus, that's a fucking good question. You could do Itsy Bitsy Spider would be a good one. You could do like a really creepy, creature feature. Itsy Bitsy Spider went up the spout again. You could do that. I always found that like the nursery rhymes, like they could be sinister. Like they're so like on paper, they're everything but sweet and innocent and charming and whatever. And then, on the other side of the coin, they're fucking disturbing, and at least that Down by the Bay, I couldn't believe there was never a movie like you IMDb it. There's never been another movie or short or anything called Down by the Bay like that. I was like, that's so crazy. That's never happened. So that was a big reason like behind the inspiration. And then I wanted to like write a whole story around it. And then that's kind of how that came out. But other song, like I'm trying to think of nursery rhymes now. What London Bridge is falling down, which I guess they did a horror movie of that of Halloween 3. Happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. That's the same as London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. Silver Shamrock. It's the same fucking thing. So that in theory, they took that one and just kind of changed the lyrics around. Trying to think of other like Ring Around the Rosie. I'm sure they've made a Ring Around the Rosie movie. That's probably happened. It's probably bad if it has, but it's probably happened. I know I'm late. Grande needs to make a Scream 6 since he loves it so much. Oh, God. No. My most prized possession is my cat. I know technically he's not worth anything. Hey, no, it means the world to you. That Burning versus Madman. That's tough. The Burning is the better movie, like technically, but Madman has the better legend, and Madman has like the better ending of the two, where that ending of Madman and the song "Heat of His Horror." The legend lives, beware the madman Mars. Amazing. Like, I love that shit. I would say The Burning overall, but Madman has a better ending. That franchise needs to rest in peace. Need that Black Christmas. Oh my god, dude, I think that's like a $600 Blu-ray. So yeah, I would love to own it because I would sell it in a heart. I know I told Neil about that. Neil had it and they sold it for a pretty penny. I don't think he got 600 or anywhere close, but he definitely got over 100 bones for it. So that's pretty cool. So Shock. Okay, people talk about Shock. I'm just gonna try to get through these a little bit quicker because we have other comments. Is it confirmed unrated? Okay, so you're asking that. Welcome to prime time, bitch. Hell yeah. Apparently it does. Okay, you guys are still. Hey, John, at work, can't stay long. Just wanted to say congratulations, and I'll definitely check out the rest of the stream tonight. Nate, if you guys haven't checked it out, Nate did an awesome 37-minute like haul video. It was awesome. Put me in a good mood. Munga LMFAO. Exactly. Nursery rhymes and fairy tales are both dark as hell. Yeah, especially if you look at them in that light. If anyone watched Screenbox, they have little commercials of the nursery rhymes, and they're horrific. There you go. Hey, Nate. Good to see you, even if it's only for a second. There's always, is there an Itsy Bitsy Spider horror film? Really? Okay, there you go. So that's been taken too. I got Down by the Bay before it's been taken. We need a slasher set in Dagestan called Munga. And there's a Ring Around the Rosie horror film. That I knew. That I knew had to. There was no way that wasn't. Chernobyl zombies. Yes, Sean, you sent me the Itsy Bitsy Spider movie. Okay. Rockabye Baby seems like it could be a good evil baby horror movie. That's awesome. Humpty Dumpty is also creepy. Wow, maybe imagine that becomes my gimmick, like fucking like Eli Roth's gimmick is to make bad movies. My gimmick becomes like Dario's gimmick was Giallo. My gimmick becomes take a nursery rhyme and try to make a horror movie out of it. I mean, they're doing it now with all the like what they do. The Winnie the Pooh. They did it with the Grinch. They did it with, I think next is they're doing another one next. I think Mickey Mouse. They're trying to do it with like all the big Disney icons. He said the thing. Oh, did I? There are 2 Humpty Dumpty films. Are there really? Wow, I didn't even know that. But let's move on there. Let's move on. Next question comes from Johnny. Congrats on 1K. Here's these 2 questions for you. The first being, what was your first wrestling match that you ever remember watching? The second being, who is your favorite baseball player that you wish played for your favorite team? Thank you for the questions. I would say first wrestling match I ever watched would be, I actually do remember. It was CM Punk versus John Morrison on the WWE ECW revival. It was like 2007, I want to say, like mid to late. It might have been summer of 07 or like September of 07. And they fought on an episode of that. And they were doing the gimmick where Punk was working like injured ribs. And he had his ribs taped up and like kept getting body slammed on his ribs. And they did like a suplex, land on the belly, and he landed on the steel steps and spit up blood. And I remember after that match, I think CM Punk lost, and I was immediately like a CM Punk fan because I was like, that guy's so tough. And I thought wrestling was real. And like, I just was a huge fan of it from there on. And that CM Punk was my guy. And then all of a sudden he became such a huge like icon after that. So it was like always crazy. It was so cool to see him go from that guy on the BS Tuesday night edition of ECW and WWE to becoming the best in the world when he did. That was so cool for me. So that would be the first wrestling match I can ever remember watching. That was definitely for me. And then the second question was baseball player that you wish would have played. My favorite team is the Mets. So favorite player that wasn't a Met. Ken Griffey Jr. would have been awesome had he played here. Trying to think of like they just favorite baseball players that wouldn't have been. See, a lot of them did for me though, because obviously you have the local bias, I guess. I will say this too. I wish DeGrom had stayed a Met forever. It bothers me to this day that he's not a Met anymore. I don't care that he did nothing with the Rangers. It like kills me that he's not a Met. That's so like I refuse to swallow that pill. It's just so horrible. Ken Griffey, man. That's the one that comes to mind. I mean, there are other players I always really, really liked, but Ken Griffey Jr., I think, is the best baseball player ever, in my opinion. I think there's nobody better. Yeah, I would say Ken Griffey. Ken Griffey J, man. That would be my answer to that. Let's see. Mark is here. Mark, welcome. The Itsy Bitsy Spider movie is the incredible one of Sam Raimi's best. Humpty Dumpty, the horror film that Trench couldn't even find anything good with. Oh God, trend of children IPs. Yep, that's the gimmick right now. I'm gonna be. It's pretty bad. Yep, I know. Master. That was after the Chris Benoit no show, right? That would have been a little while after that, but yes, definitely. Yeah, because Benoit stuff happened in June of 07, and this would have been August or September of 07. So yeah, right after that stuff. I didn't even know I didn't know of any of that, but that was crazy. Agreed. Brett ruined my childhood with the banana splits. Wait, wrestling is fake. Unfortunately, yes. It took me a long time to figure that out too. And the next Peter Pan. Oh, is that really? Is it Tinkerbell? The Peter Pan? Alice in Wonderland 33 features the creepy Humpty Dumpty and many other nightmarish characters. Okay. What old classic horror special effects would have you love to be brought back? Old horror special effects. I don't feel like they do reverse shots enough anymore. I always thought that like Savini did so many wonderful reverse shots, like whether it be the zombie in Dawn of the Dead that's going to bite Savini's leg and he machetes him in the head, and in reality it's the machete and he's pulling it out. I don't think enough filmmakers do that anymore. Like you don't see reverse shots done in horror at all. And to me, that's like the one thing that you could absolutely fucking do forever. Like it's such an easy gimmick, but they just CGI, like I hate that. I think, there are horror movies that do practical gore. Like there are a lot of horror movies that will do practical gore now, but like I don't see enough gags anymore. Like I definitely would like to see the old, like pulling that out and using as much of the real actor as you can. Like shit, Savini 101. I think that's the thing I really miss the most. I also always kind of was a sucker for like bad claymation, shit like that. I don't know. It has a charm to it. Yes. Okay. You're talking to Steel. Oh, is it Pinocchio? I don't know. I know they made an evil Pinocchio movie in like the 90s. Let's see. I'd watch Humpty Dumpty 5 times in a row, Master over Thanksgiving. The gimmick isn't children IPs as much as it's casting in an. Yes, that's true, but still, it draws somehow. Piazza, thankfully, he was a Met, so it's like he wouldn't qualify, I guess. But like, yeah, no, I know he was a Dodger and a Met, and you're a big Dodgers guy, so that's awesome. I know a lot of people probably say Ohtani, which he's a Dodger right now. That would be a cool one. Ohtani would be awesome because he's like the face of the sport. Thanksgiving 3 might be aight though. Okay. Granny's favorite baseball player is Bobby Bonilla, but only until 2035. Yes, that's right. Bobby Bonilla gets $1.19 million every single year because the Mets are a horrendous organization. And that's not to mention, nobody ever mentions Brett Saberhagen. I think we're still paying Brett Saberhagen too. Does anybody even remember that? Sorry if this was asked, Granny, have you seen the trailer for stop motion yet? No, that was not asked. And no, I don't even know what that is. So if you want to send that to me, feel free. Saw the trailer. It's called Pinocchio's Revenge. That's right. Totally forgot. I think there's a perfect way to have practical effects thing. Would have loved to have seen Roy Halladay pitch for the Mets. That would have been really cool. Yeah, I would second that. I would like that. I definitely would have liked that. I don't know. There's plenty of Mets killers that I think would have been cool to see in Mets uniforms that it never happened. But it is what it is. I wish they had kept Murphy. I think like there's so many guys I wish they would have kept as opposed to even getting. But that's them. They're just that type of organization. Next questions come from King Gore. Congratulations, Grande. Any added gift beyond you crossing 1K would be overkill. Speaking for myself, but I can't pass up a celebration. I like your evolution. You're growing the Graveyard brand with this progression. It's impossible to fail. Only improvements you could make would be educated tech upgrades. Literally, though, the show is perfect, but those subtle improvements in quality over time is great. Prompt. If you could rewrite history, pick a giallo you feel would have been better if it was directed by somebody else. Name the replacement director. Question 2, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Wow. The second question, if you'd asked me that 2 weeks ago, I would have had a good answer. Now, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck to tell you. So sorry. I have no idea on the second question. I don't know where I see myself in 5 days, let alone 5 years, to be honest. And then Q1, Giallo, that would have been better if it was directed by somebody else. Wow. And me and Mateo just saw a bunch of Jolly. I would say The Strange Vice of Mrs. Ward would have been better if it was directed by Fulci, because I felt there was way too much drama and like love angle in there. Like it just had really poor pacing problems. And I don't think any Fulci film that I have seen has pacing problems. Like if you watch Devil's Honey, it has a lot of that like lovey-dovey shit in it too, but it also has an amazing pace. Whereas Strange Vices Mrs. Ward makes me want to go to bed. Like it's just such a slow movie. So I would say Fulci remake. Fulci as a director instead of Martino. I think it was Martino for Strange Vices Mrs. Ward. That would be me. That would be the one I would choose. But and sorry, the second question, not really up to answering that one right now. Let's see. Anthony Chobut's next question's here. Welcome, my friend. He said, congratulations. He said, favorite Steeler ever. Wow. Probably, I'll say John Stallworth. I love John Stallworth. Like, not enough people give John Stallworth credit. Like, it's always Swan and Hines Ward getting the love when it comes to wide receivers. I thought John Stallworth was a monster. And if you ever look, he had better numbers than Lynn Swan. I believe he had more catches, more yards, more games, more everything than Lynn Swan. And I love Lynn Swan. Lynn Swan was more remembered for the acrobatic catches in the Super Bowls against Dallas. And, he was just such a great personality. Whereas Stallworth was more of the calm, cool, quiet guy who kind of just, went about his business, but was so good in his own right. So I would say John Stallworth. And then if I had to pick like a defensive player, I love TJ Watt. I love, man, Joe Green, Mean Joe Green. Mean Joe Green is probably the greatest Steeler ever because he changed the culture. Like they were a losing organization until Mean Joe Green said it's not okay to lose anymore. And Mean Joe Green stepped up and fucking changed the culture of that team. Love Terry, love Ben. I really like Kenny Pickett. I know a lot of people hate Kenny Pickett, but I think Kenny Pickett's the answer. I do. I know a lot of people don't want to hear it, but I think Kenny's the next guy. I really do. Let's see. I think we're here. Raincoat, Milo. I'd watch that steal. Beatles Earth. Jack is here. Beatles in a horror movie. Who's dying first and how do they die? Wow. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. That's a good question. I think Ringo would have to be the first one killed off. And then like, you imagine you do remake of Terror on Tour, but with the Beatles. That would be hysterical if they did that, man. And then like at the end, it's Yoko Ono as the killer. That would be fucking amazing if they did that. That's, you know what? If someone asked me what's my next film project, that I want to remake Terror on Tour with the Beatles and Yoko Ono as the fucking killer. That would be an amazing movie. Martino just got straight gutted. Holy shit. I love Sergio Martino, but I think The Strange Vices of Mrs. Ward is just overrated, man. I do. So that was Anthony's first question. What was his other question? Favorite trauma movie? Favorite trauma movie for me is Bloodsucking Freaks. I would say no doubt about that. Bloodsucking Freaks. They all blow in the Yellow Submarine. Oh my God. Could you imagine they do a slasher Beatles movie called The Yellow Submarine? And it's like, instead of we all live in a yellow submarine, it's like we all die in a yellow submarine. That would be amazing if that happened, man. Sky of blue and sea of red, and now we're all fucking dead. That would be amazing. Mateo, that was a fun question. Absolutely, yeah, that was a fun question. Let's see. Next question. Favorite trauma movie? Yeah, Bloodsucking Freaks. No doubt. That would be my absolute favorite trauma movie. Steel. Yeah, no, that would be awesome. A Yellow Submarine. And then, like, literally, like, as they're being chased, you do, help, I need somebody, help, not just anybody, help. Yoko's trying to cut my balls off. That would be amazing. Dude, the Beatles missed their chance. They should have been a fucking horror movie fucking band, let alone the greatest band of all time. Mr. Dan has the next questions. Also love the enthusiasm of your channel. Thank you. What's your favorite movie with stop motion effects? And what's your favorite martial arts movie? Ooh, these are good ones. Favorite movie with stop motion effects would be, I love like Wallace and Gromit. I love all of those movies. Absolutely love those. And then I would say horror movie, Evil Dead. Evil Dead, I always remember having the stop motion effects and stuff like that. So Evil Dead would be up there for me too. So I would say those two for sure. Wallace and Gromit movies and Evil Dead. And then favorite martial arts movie. That's a great question. I'm a huge Van Damme fan. Like I love Lionheart. I love wow, Bloodsport is great. Kickboxer is not technically more, it's more kickboxing. I would say, how about this one? I'm going to go with a weird one. Tony Jaa joint. I would say The Protector. The Protector would be my favorite mixed martial arts movie. It's about Tony Jaa, and he has this like pet elephant, and he loves the pet elephant. He's like best friends with pet elephant, and then somebody steals, like this organization steals the elephant from him. And it's like the entire movie is him like kicking people's asses and murdering people trying to get the elephant back. It is an amazing movie. Like I love The Protector. I think that's a great one. So definitely, I would say that one for favorite mixed martial arts. Although the ones I mentioned are definitely awesome. LMFAO, I love the Beatles. Favorite giant monster robot kaiju movie. Wow. So I mean, for Godzilla, it's Godzilla versus the Smog Monster. I love that movie. I think it's just the most grand Godzilla movie. I love the villain. I love the message of the, horrors of radiation versus the horrors of pollution, and the whole animated sequences and the songs and the way it was done and the amount of screen time Godzilla has. I think it's a great movie. I love Godzilla versus the Smog Monster. Also love Kong 76 and Kong 33. Love those movies. Kaiju movies, I don't know. Not off the top of my head, I don't know. There's too many. Remake The Abyss, but with the crew that imploded. Holy shit. That's dark, man. That would be a short movie, though. That movie would be like 20 milliseconds. Kubo and the Two Strings is the best stop motion movie, hands down, can't be topped. Someone said Basket Case. Let's see. Harryhausen with that's awesome. Love it. And anything Harryhausen did, awesome. Dumbo, but he just crushes everyone. I'd go with Ocean Gate submarine horror movie with the Queen soundtrack. Awesome. El Dumbo versus Godzilla. Okay. Rectuma. Okay. And shoots acid out of his nose, Texas. Harryhausen was so great when he did all those Sinbad movies. LMFAO Corey. Definitely some good ones here. So yeah, let's move on to the next set of questions we got. And the next ones come from Terrence, Billy Bob. Thank you, Billy Bob. Hey, bud, what first inspired you to start Ground Days Graveyard? And what are some other hobbies that you haven't told your viewers? Congrats on 1,000, deserve it. Thank you so much, Terrence. I appreciate that. What made me start this show? I was in college and I never really joined a club. I went to a college that I could commute to. Like I didn't go away, so I wanted to work and save money. And so I remember one day, I think it was sophomore, or it might have even been the first semester of junior year, where somebody came to me and said, "Hey man, they're starting up the radio program here." And I said, "Really?" I was like, "Holy shit." And they were like, "You should go and see if they'll let you do a show." And I was like, "It's a great idea." So I went to the club and I initially pitched a fantasy football show. I was like, "I want to do fantasy football." And they were like, "Well, we already have like 4, 5, 6 people that want to do sports shows. What's a 7th? What's a 6th? What's an 8th? Whatever." And I was like, "Yeah, I guess so." And they were like, "What else you got?" I was like, "Well, I don't think you'd ever approve it, but I would. My favorite thing is horror movies. I'd love to talk about horror movies every week." And they were like, "How would that work?" And I was like, "Well, I'd pick a topic and come on here and talk for an hour." And they were like, I remember they all were looking at each other. They were at a table and it was like they were looking, they were like, "What the fuck?" They were like, "All right, fine." And like, I remember signing up and then started doing the show and I just became addicted to it. I was like, I need this every week. And like, I would take, at that time, it would just be the show would run through the semester. So it would only be 3-4 months, which would equal to what? 4 times 4 would be like 15, 16 shows a semester of Ground Days Graveyard. And then I was like, I really want to keep doing this. And then I started working and then doing it from home. And then I was like, you know what? I want to just do this every week. And that's really why it came to be a weekly thing. And then now here we are all these years later, man. That's when it first started, was in college. And then it was on and off for a while. And then I would say like 2020 onward is when it's really like been going. So almost 3 years, like it's been pretty steady for 3 years. So yeah, that would be the answer to that question. And then as far as hobbies outside of this, I love going on walks and listening. I have like these old school, granted they're beat to shit. They're beats, but they're really worn. I love listening to the music on my beats and just walking, trying to clear my head. I've been trying to do that recently because there's been shit going on. I like doing that. I love watching movies personally, but that's one I'm sure everyone knows. I actually really like prepping for this. Like I like sitting down and like planning a schedule. I know there's some people that like, they literally just go like it's like, all right, I'm just going to do this. They decide the week of what they want to do. I like to plan these out in advance. Like I sit down and I literally with a pen and paper just go like, okay, what haven't we covered? How can we be different? What new concepts can we bring? What new things to old show concepts can we bring? Stuff like that. I'm a big sports guy. I'm definitely, I love to go to the batting cage, hit some baseballs. I love doing that. I like feeling that. I don't know. I like video games. I'm just casual gamer, kind of casual with that stuff. I love Texas Hold'em. I'm a big love playing cards, love gambling. I love going to Atlantic City. Occasionally, I'm not like a diehard gambler, have a parlay and everything, but I like gambling. I think it's fun. I think it's, as long as it's done in moderation and you know when to hit the brakes on it, I think it can be fun. Yeah, I would say those are some of my hobbies for sure. I skipped some comments. Sorry, guys. Undisclosed college pride. Absolutely. Now I want to see a xenomorph Dumbo creature spitting acid out of its nose. What the fuck? I see the comments. You see, you change some comments, and that's where you get take my money. Hell yeah. Mr. Grande, what's up, my brother? Robert, hope all is well. Wait. You like watching movies? I know, shocking, right? Well, there's a lot of horror movie celebrities that have been in many classic Disney movies, like Jodie Foster was the original Freaky Friday. Elsa Manchester was also the original Mary Poppins. Yeah, no, absolutely. That's true. But yeah, okay, so that's Terry's questions. And now I believe we're up to Sean's questions. Okay. Congrats on passing 1K. It's funny how you were stuck at 650 to 700 for a while, and out of nowhere, you blew by 1K. I know I've learned some new things from your channel, and you just do a good job of keeping my attention with topics, and I'm sure most people would agree with me. Thank you for saying that. The idea of the prizes with letting people pick their choices is very interesting as well, and something I don't see on here with other contests. First question, what is one, all caps, movie that is out of print that you would like to see get reprinted on physical media again? And number two, what is the most graphic foreign horror movie you've ever seen? Wow. That's tough, man. Anything Takashi Miike is pretty graphic when it comes to the second question. Have you ever seen Gozu? Takashi Miike's Gozu? That's fucking crazy. The ladle scene, that's one of the craziest scenes I've ever seen. Tokyo Gore Police always comes to mind as like graphic foreign horror that I really enjoy, just like a body horror movie. More graphic horror movies from foreign countries. That's a good fucking question. Tetsuo, the Iron Man, anything Miike has done is generally fucking crazy like that. So I would say go anywhere like Gozu or Miike, and I know Miike did do Gozu. So yeah, I would go there. And then one movie that's out of print that I'd like to see reprinted. Sorry for this answer, but I want to see a Region 1 release of Dawn of the Dead. That's what I want to see. There's no absolute doubt that's the number one choice because it deserves a good Region 1, big special edition, $100 special edition. That's how I feel. But if you're talking about movies that like even more so, granted, that's the one. I mean, I'm looking at the DVD rack here to see if there's any other ones that come to mind. Movies that like desperately, I would say Peter Jackson's Dead Alive. That one desperately needs a 4K. Like, why is that not out on 4K? And Bad Taste and Meet the Feebles, those all should be on 4K, and they're not. And he lied. He said he was going to do it in 2017 and never did. What's Grande's favorite YouTube channel? That's tough. Well, first and foremost, I say I do love the people on here that comment every week and do have a channel. I like most of your content. I mean, I really do. As far as channels I watch religiously, I would say Rambo. I really watch Rambo Raf a lot. I think he's great. I really like his channel. I used to like Cool Duder a lot back in the day. I know that he's like the cool thing in the world to make fun of now, but like his early stuff I loved. I would never lie and be like, say I didn't like his stuff. Dead Pit. I think Dead Pit's the best. I don't think anyone's like Dead Pit is the greatest horror. There would be no Grande's Graveyard without Dead Pit Radio. It's the greatest fucking show ever. Like their chemistry, Wes and Aaron's chemistry, and the ways they could make me laugh. Like I could have the worst day of my life, and you could put on an episode of Dead Pit and they'll just talk about the stupidest thing, like to make fun of Tony Moran or a fart joke or anything, and they could just make you laugh and make you forget why you were ever sad. Like I think there's no greater show ever than Dead Pit Radio. So I would say them. I would say they're the greatest. I really do. I think that. Gozu is inspired by Lynch. Absolutely. Sounds like a wholesome movie about someone that goes to the zoo. Yeah, no, it's not that. I need a Gozu and Visitor Q Blue. Oh, Gozu should happen. Gozu is wild, and I don't hear that one getting mentioned very often. That one would be the one that comes to my mind. That's a fucking crazy movie. Meet the Feebles. Yep. Jackson is effing up. He is. They're out in Spain and Blu-ray like $30 Amazon. Yeah, I would agree. Region A or re-release of Dawn. I had the Anchor Bay Blu-ray. So do I. And that was that's the last American. Yeah, no, that's got to change. King Gore's channel was the bestest. Love King Gore's stuff. Corey does great content. I love the 31 Days of October he did was amazing. It was really, really good. And all you guys, really, honestly, everyone that watches that does their own content, I think does great stuff. I mean, Sean and Juno do really fun watch-alongs. I wish I could be at more of them. They even had Texas on for like their top 5 releases, which was a really cool show. And I'm not here. There's so many people that have been in here. I don't want to, like, there's no way I can mention everyone, but like, plenty of you guys do really cool stuff. So I don't know. I'm appreciative that any of you guys watch this. So thank you, Sean, for the comment and questions, and we'll move on. Let's see. Nate's, we're up to Explorer of Horror. Let's see. I'm extremely happy at the rapid growth of this amazing channel. Your content is very well made. You're an awesome person. I'm so happy to see the channel grow and have an honor to call you a friend. Thank you again for all your, dude, thank you for being my friend. You're like one of my favorite people that I've had the pleasure of meeting on this. And man, I appreciate your friendship more than you could know. I appreciate that. As far as the questions go, what is the most boring horror film you've ever seen? And what's your favorite music genre? Thanks again. Congrats on 1K. Favorite music genre, I actually said, was psychedelic rock. I love psychedelic rock. As far as most boring horror movie, wow. Silent Night, Deadly Night 4 would be up there. I know this is not a horror movie, but I always thought Jurassic Park 2 was a chore to get through. Like, that is what got to be the most boring Steven Spielberg, like, $100+ million movie ever is Jurassic Park 2. I hate that movie with a passion. Boring horror films. That's like one of the biggest sins you can commit, when your film is just so dull that I don't even want to continue to watch it. Those two come to mind for sure. I'm looking at the boring movies. Don't know, like, bad movies come to mind before boring does, but there are plenty of like boring horror movies. Let's see. King Gore says Mood 616. I like his channel. I will say they're like, when he's on with the other two guys, like the 22 shots of Moods, they're fine, but they don't click. I like JP, but I don't think, like, they're always arguing. That's all they argue. I'm like, oh my God, like, stop fucking arguing. Like, I feel bad for saying that, but it's the truth. Like, sometimes I just shake my head. I'm like, oh my God, like, you just fucking talk with the movie and stop arguing. Like, oh no, is this what you meant? No, that's what I meant. Okay, sorry, that's what you meant. This is what I meant. It's like, fuck, man. Like, make up your fucking mind. But Moods did an awesome, and that's not a knock. I don't mean that as a knock. It's just the truth. Like, sometimes that podcast makes me want to rip my hair out. I'm like, dude, when he did the Top Tuesdays, I like the Top 10 Tuesday shows he did. He did like 100 episodes of that. And he also did, like, awesome fucking thing called, it was like 52 weeks in horror, and he would pick a year and then put like 52 horror movies from that year and hit a randomizer button, and it was like whatever movie came on the randomizer would be the movie he'd review for the week, and they were like 10-15 minute reviews. I loved that. I thought that is, I'm shocked that nobody ripped that off, but that's commitment. That's, you have to do a video on a movie from that year 1 week every week of the year. Like, there's 52 videos in the year, and he did it 2 years. So that was cool. Except my ass. What do you mean? No, we love you, John Steele. Boring horror movie, Skinamarink. Yeah, I didn't see that, but I heard it was. Paranormal Activity, I thought was quite boring. The first and the second one. Third one had a little bit better pacing. Tom, you aren't wrong. I hated that shit Undead. Yeah, accurate. LMFAO. Yeah, no, like, trying to think of other like boring horror movies. That's really hard. I don't know. Yeah, Silent Night, Deadly Night 3 comes to mind too. That's a fucking boring. Silent Night, Deadly Night 3 and 4 are the cures for insomnia. So that would be my answers to those questions. Let's see. Next questions come from Master of Fear. So Fear, if you're still here, here's your questions. 1.66K subs. Congrats. I really enjoy your live streams. I know I haven't shown up as much as I used to, but the moment I'm able to catch you, it's always great time. I love hearing you talk about horror and occasionally superheroes. Keep up the great work on the Graveyard. Thank you. First question, what do you like better, Titans or the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man films? Teen Titans or wow. So you know me well with the superheroes because those are my two favorite superhero properties would be the Glenn Murakami Teen Titans and the Sam Raimi Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies. I'm going to say Teen Titans just because I would take Teen Titans seasons 1 through 5 over the Raimi trilogy, mainly because Spider-Man 3 is kind of a weak link. I love Spider-Man 1 and 2. And the Teen Titans season 5 is weak compared to the other seasons, but I do think overall I would say Teen Titans. I think Teen Titans I think it's the best, one of the best shows ever. Like it would be probably my number 2 favorite show of all time of any show. Like there's no bigger Teen Titans fan than me. I love that show. And then second question, if you could make a sequel to one of the famous slasher villains, which would it be? Right here. I would make Sleepaway Camp 4 with Pamela Springsteen in like 1992, even though I wasn't alive. I would have Michael A. Simpson return to direct, or if I had to direct, I'd have to be alive at that time. So me, Pamela Springsteen, Sleepaway Camp 4, The War to Settle the Score, the one to blow it off, the grand finale of Sleepaway Camp movies, that would be the one I'd want to make. I think it would be so cool to see her back one last time, picking off people, trying to slash last year's record and, find morality in the world. And I think that character deserved one more movie. Like, I know it's technically the Sleepaway Camp trilogy, and then some choose not to include Sleepaway Camp, The Survivor and then Sleepaway Camp, Return to Sleepaway Camp. Like those two movies are terrible. So it's that trilogy really, but I always felt we should have gotten 3 movies with Pamela Springsteen. And I know for a long time they wanted to do Sleepaway Camp Berserk, which would have been Sleepaway Camp 5, I guess, with her, but she never would do it. So unfortunately, but if I had my choice, she'd get her ass out of the photography business and start production in Sleepaway Camp 4 with me. That would be me. Wow. I don't know which that was too. Lake Mungo is a snoozer, LOL, but I'm in the minority. People love that movie. I thought it was okay, but like I don't understand this is one of the greatest horror mockumentaries, and I was scared shitless. I didn't see at all. Like, I thought it was fine, but like I've never rewatched it, so I don't know. And it didn't work. Hot take: the first Spider-Man is my favorite Spider-Man movie and one of the favorite movies of all time. I think that's a great movie. I'm with you on Lake Mungo, Sean. Doesn't do anything for me. I mean, I would say I'm a little bit more positive on it than that, but I don't think it's a great movie by any means. Oh my God, yeah. Skinamarink isn't even a movie. Yeah, it's just like kids watching cartoons is what I've heard. So I stay away from that shit. Next questions come from Miss C. Ciao Grande. Congrats on 1K subs. You deserve it. Thank you. What made you start doing reviews on YouTube? And number 2, how long did it take you to come up with and write Down by the Bay? What brought me to your channel was you did Summertime Slash reviews with King Gore. I love your rants. My suggestion would be to try to slow down reading the comments. I feel like you rush to get through the comments. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Sorry, sometimes I do it just to keep pace. Like I feel like sometimes you live stream where it's like, Lake Mungo is a snoozer, LOL, but I'm in the minority with that one. Like some people just read it so slowly, but I've seen it so that's why when I try to bang through everything and I try to get to all of them, but yeah, sometimes the fast pace can be, not a good thing. So I apologize about that. But to answer your questions, what made me to start doing YouTube? I would say, so this channel has been around before it was called Granny's Graveyard. It was just my name. And I would do videos in middle school and high school. And I would do also there. You can even find old videos where this was the channel, back when I had like 10 subscribers. And I would just do like food reviews. Granted, those are mostly erased, but like I just like talking in front of a camera. I think that is always my thing, where it was always my dream to like make a living out of just talking and interacting with people because I like talking with people. And I think, this was like my happy medium of that, where I found this, nice graveyard thing and the show formula and the chat and people that come back and watch and enjoy the shows and the rants and the reviews and all of that. And like, I don't know, it's kind of addicting. Like, I'll be honest with you. I had a rough few days. I've really been in a bad place, but like, and I'll be perfectly like, I was like, man, I don't even know if I could do the show tonight, but like, this is the happiest I've been in a week. So I just like doing this, it peps me and makes me feel good and makes me forget about the real world for a little while. So, I definitely appreciate you guys. And that's a big reason why I like to do videos on here. And then the second question, how long did it take you to come up with Down by the Bay? Wow. I came up with the idea of it a long time before it was even written, because I always I figured if I was to make a horror movie, I wanted it to be something completely different. And I figured telling the story or I guess the moral of people that are ignorant to horror. Like to me, the whole point of Down by the Bay is it's like a kind of a jab at the people that don't like the genre or think they're smarter than it or think they know better than it, for lack of a better term. And that's really what it is, because my whole idea was the girl at the beginning in the campfire, it says, oh, she broke the cardinal rules. She looked back. She does the same thing in the end of her story. When she goes to Down by the Bay and encounters the woman in yellow, she pushes her down, runs away, and she breaks the cardinal rule herself and turns around to the camera. And you see the woman in yellow smile, and then she switched places with her. But I thought my psychology behind that was, when you're sitting behind the campfire, or if you're sitting on the couch and you think you know better and how the story will end or what a character should do in a moment of hard situation, the answer is you don't know what you do in that situation until you're in it yourself. Like, everyone always says the whole Nev Campbell, horror is insulting. There's a dumb, big blonded woman running up the stairs when she should be running out the front door. Meanwhile, Nev Campbell in that same movie is running up the steps from fucking Ghostface. Like, you don't know what you're going to do until you're in the situation yourself. So that was a big thing for me. I wanted to tell that story of the horrors of ignorance and how, you could think you know better when you're sitting around the campfires shoving your face with a s'more. But when the chips are down, sister, you don't know what you're going to do when you're encountered by the big bad woman in yellow. And the idea of the whole thing, really, it took me a long time to come up with it, because I wanted the dresses to be trippy. And I know some people have come like, what is the significance of that? What does it mean? I think it has many meanings, but like one of the main ones I wanted to feel or tell with it was that horror has so many flavors, and that's the beauty of horror. And that's in the spiel at the end when she says that you found the beauty of horror. And basically what I mean by that is there's all sorts of shapes and sizes and styles and flavors of the genre, whether they be yellow, red, purple, or whatever color under the rainbow you want to pick, whether it be Italy, whether it be Spain, whether it be Japan, whether it be America. There's so many different styles and flavors and, tales that have been told in the genre, and we may never truly understand what the beauty of horror is, but that's why we love it. It's the mystery of horror. And that's a big reason, and point of what I was trying to tell in that story. It's like kids around the campfire, classic trope, and then telling the old story there and the whole spiel at the end. I thought, it was nice. I thought it came out pretty good. And like, it took me years to come up with that. I was literally thinking of that in high school, trying to put it all together. And then it was until my friend was like, hey, let's do this. I really sat down and was like, all right, I really got to organize this and make this a script now. And we were thankful enough and lucky enough to do it. And, I will be soon sending it into submissions for festivals. I want to see how it does. We'll see. We got Ice Lord. Wes is here. Good evening. Congratulations, Grande. Thank you, Wes. Thank you. Hope all's well with you, man. Have you ever thought to do an UFU content? If you have no idea, I'll message you later. Unfortunately, I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. Good evening, everyone. Wes, always good to see you. The Ice. Salty P. I've never heard his name. Which one do you like better? Peanut M&Ms or peanut butter M&Ms? Wow. I'll go peanut butter M&Ms. I'll do you one better, Salty Pete. Do you remember crispy M&Ms? I don't think they have them anymore, but I loved crispy M&Ms. They were like Rice Krispie M&Ms, and they were so fucking good, man. That would be my favorite M&M. What's up? Good to see you. Absolutely. We appreciate you. Thank you. Yes, absolutely, man. So thank you, Miss C, for the questions. I appreciate those. Let's see. James. Wow, James's was very long. Yeah, here, I'll read it out. No problem. Congratulations again on the milestone, and it seems positive that you've blown past it rather than just crept over 1K. Yeah, that was absolutely insane. The "we are being recorded" bit also brought a smile to my face. Although I've said this before, it's worth showing others where I'm coming from too. I found your channel with the Alien versus Thing and instantly hit subscribe. Thank you for that. I certainly didn't feel any negative vibes at the start of 2023 or ever. The variation in your episodes make your show great. Thank you. Versus Italian horror, episode tier list, roundtables, actors' careers, and so much more. A few of my favorite movies do have elements of horror, but generally, I was never a fan of horror in its purest form. I always had a fascination with the making of side of horror, although I always planned to try and watch more. You definitely helped me make me give the push to try harder. I watched The Exorcist at the cinema and it blew me away. I now own it on Blu-ray. Just this morning, I ordered Candyman, The Shining, and Halloween. Awesome picks. If it's worth seeing, it's worth owning. From day one, I felt welcomed by both you and the people in your chat. Shout out to the chat. Although I wasn't expecting to be shunned or anything, when you already have an established fan base, it could take time to warm to someone new. But as I said, day one. I remember a reaction to a question you had put in the chat. You asked, which was scarier, Hellraiser or Candyman? Most people said Hellraiser. You said Hellraiser. I thought Candyman because it felt more grounded in reality, even though very few people agreed with me. You got where I was coming from, and it felt very validating. Well, dude, you're welcome. I don't even know if I've said this. Wrestling is quite similar to horror. I am much more interested in real-life people and backstage politics than the in-ring action. I love wrestling, too. My questions are, what movie or show is a bit of a guilty pleasure for you? It doesn't have to be horror-related. It's just something that, in other words, that others wouldn't associate with you. And what piece of physical memorabilia would you like to own? More a physical prop than a poster. Well, James, I want to say, first of all, thank you so much for the nice comment. I know pretty much every week without fail, since James has watched the show, he leaves a comment. If he can't watch the show, he catches the replay, he'll comment after and give me his thoughts and advice and, opinions. And I always appreciate that. I appreciate that. And I appreciate the warm words as always. And man, you're always welcome here. I appreciate the kind words. I really do. But yeah, no, I, as far as answering your questions, biggest movie guilty pleasure, non-horror. This is, I'm going to get made fun of for this, but I absolutely can't give another answer. This is the answer. Would be the Country Bears. I know, weird one. I hate country music with a passion. Hate it. I think country music, it's like Waterboy. Country music is the devil. I hate country music. But that fucking movie I love. I love the Country Bears. I saw it in the theater at 5 years old. Loved it then. I know it's a huge hated movie, but I always loved it. There was something about it. I thought it was just kind of a sweet message of your family is your family, no matter where you come from or no matter what you are. And, the whole Christopher Walken in the movie, super over the top, oh no, Country Bear Hall has been destroyed. He's the disgruntled armpit farter who lost to the fucking Country Bears in the talent show. That movie is so fucking hysterically bad that I love it. That's the guilty pleasure for me. Another one would be Cat in the Hat. I think Cat in the Hat, which is, I think, just celebrated its 20th anniversary last year. As bad as that movie is, as much as it had offended Mrs. Seuss, and I know that she pulled the rights for them to ever make a live action, adaptation remake of any Dr. Seuss book after that came out. That's how much she was pissed. I love that movie for some reason. It's so fucking stupid. And Mike Myers is hysterically stupid and bad in it. And it's all his humor. The cupcake, what? Cupcake-inator. And the fucking, you dirty hoe. And the scene where he gets hit in the balls and he's on the swing. And for some reason that movie is the biggest guilty pleasure to me. So I'd say those two are guilty pleasures. I am not proud to like either one of those movies, but I do. And then horror prop. Wow. That's a fucking good question. I don't know. Leatherface's chainsaw in the original movie would be sick. I would love to have that. That would be a really cool one. Of Dawn of the Dead, like what would be the one thing in Dawn of the Dead I'd want to own, like prop wise, for my favorite horror movie? Maybe I should pick something different from my favorite. I know that and this is possible because if I ever meet Whopper Horror lives right by the Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3, like the camp itself, and you could go into the dorm where it says, Angela's back. I would love to somehow bring that wall and like hang it up in my house, like the Angela's back, like clean it because I'm sure it's bug infested and fucking there's probably diseases and mold and grossness on there. But I would love to have that. So I would say that the Sleepaway Camp 2 wall where it says Angela's back, I would love to put that like somewhere in this room and just have it as the prop, like the one from the movie. That would be the one for me. Do you like tofu? No, Brienne, I do not like tofu. Brienne likes to make fun of me because I am not a vegan. Brienne loves salad and Brienne loves vodka, but I am not a fan of vegan things or alcohol, and she teases me about it. And I know she knows the answer to that. Yeah, I'm not a tofu guy. I don't know. I've tried a veggie burger in my life and I didn't mind it. It was like all red and it was like not the worst thing in the world. I didn't mind the veggie burger when I had it. Absolutely, we do King. Absolutely. Cat in the Hat. Okay. Wow, she did that. I love that monster. Dude, she apparently the story goes, they got Mrs. Seuss to come in for the screening, like a private screening, the theater all to herself, and because they wanted to see her enjoyment and amazement. I don't know what they were thinking. The Cat in the Hat is a bad movie, and I would be afraid to show that to anyone who is like near and dear to Dr. Seuss because as an adaptation, it's a fucking abomination. As a bad Mike Myers comedy, it's so fucking funny that you have to watch it. But like apparently it ended and they were like, what'd you think? And Mrs. Seuss came out of there and she was like, you will never fucking remake any of these in live action again. You should be fucking ashamed of yourselves. I'm taking his name off of this. Fuck you. Like she apparently, like I would love to have been a fly on the wall of this fucking woman's reaction, seeing her husband's like greatest novel or greatest children's book fucking blistered like that. Like, oh man, I really wish I could have been there for that. When a mommy cat and a daddy cat love each other very much, and the scene where he sees the picture of Kelly Preston and he gets the hat boner, it's funny shit. More a novella than a comment. My answers would be iZombie TV show. Feels like a girly show, but it's a lot of fun. The memorabilia item would be the Predator's mask. That's a good one. Are you a fan of Predator? Like 1 and 2, is that where you like? Tell me the Predator movies you like, James. I'm curious because we did Predator a really long time ago on the show. I love Predator 1, 2, and Predators. I think those I like. AVP, no. AVPR, no. Predator 2018, no. And then the new one, Prey, was a little too fucking political for me. But other than that, if it just been a movie that like stayed away from the politics, it would have been fucking great. But they kept hammering the politics in your face, and it annoyed me. But those would be my answer to that. So let's go. Anthony here, Fever Dreamland Theaters questions. Let's see. Huge congrats on 1K, man. And I'm already well on your way to 2K. That's right. Yeah, we're more than halfway to 2K. More than halfway to 3K, actually. Well deserved, bro. Like King, I'm cool just adding a few questions without being entered in the official giveaway, but I do demand we hang out sometime this year. Haha. My 2 questions are as follows. What is your least favorite or most hated zombie movie of all time? And if you could remake a classic Twilight Zone episode yourself, which episode would it be? Feel free to give details about your choice of actors and story changes, etc. Fist bump. Oh, well, hey, man, I would love to hang out with you again, too. Of course, me, Curly, and Anthony all met in the city this past year, and we had an awesome time. We got Joe's Pizza, saw Dawn of the Dead, it's actually in October, so it was only a few months ago, but that was a lot of fun. We had a fun night. I would love to do that. I know Mayan commented somewhere. Mayan was saying that she's not far from us either. So maybe Mayan will join us the next time. That'd be really cool. As far as my least favorite or most hated zombie movie, holy shit. Throw a rock and you could hit a bad zombie movie. I would say Children of the Living Dead, Zombie Lake, Zombie Geddon, Zombie Strippers, fucking holy shit. There are so many bad Day of the Dead remake, Day of the Dead 2 Contagium. Wow, there's so many bad zombie movies. I would have to do a whole show on bad zombie movies, man. I absolutely would have to do a whole show. I love 1 and 2. 2 is so underrated. The others, I think 2 is very underrated too. I always like. I'll be honest. For years, it took me a while to warm up to Predator 2, and then I was like, you know what? I embrace this being in the city and like Danny Glover being the lead. Cool to see him as the lead, and Bill Paxton. That's a good movie. I always like Maria Conchita Alonso. I like Predator 2 as well. I ended up entering anyways. Yeah, it's always fun to enter. Yes, hell yeah, yeah. New York is in here. Yeah, we would absolutely be cool to meet up. And the second question, if I could remake a classic Twilight Zone, which would it be? And then I could also do like any actors I wanted, story changes. Wow. That's tough, man. Weird one. I would say Come Wander With Me. I would say that would be the one I'd want to remake. And if I could get any actor, man, give me Jeremy Allen White as the lead. I would love him as Floyd Burney. And then as the female, you'd have to get like a really good singer. Like someone that maybe has done the singing and I don't know. Who's a good singer / actress? That'd be a good fucking choice there. And just to be like somewhat attractive too. How about this? Yeah, we'll go Jeremy Allen White and Haley Steinfeld in a remake of Come Wander With Me. Because I always felt the ending of Come Wander With Me, it falls off the rails a little bit, but the atmosphere, tension, weirdness, it's so unlike any Twilight Zone. So I would say that one. I would say I would remake Come Wander With Me give me those two actors, and I would change the ending a little bit. As far as what I would change, I would make it less bleak. Like I wouldn't do the whole he's buried in the ground. I would do like he listens to her this time and maybe breaks the loop and can live happily ever after in the woods. I think that would be a cool one. So yeah, I would say that. I got douche chills after hearing Grande say Day of the Dead remake. Oh, that movie's so bad. Speaking of vegetarians, if Brianne's still here, that movie features a vegetarian zombie. So there you go. Come Wander With Me, great pick. Absolutely. I think that would be a fun one because it's one that like I can't remake To Serve Man. I can't remake, Nightmare at 20,000 Feet. Like there's so many ones that are so untouchable that it'd be hard. So I'd pick one like that where I think it's really good and the concept's good, but the episode itself like definitely needed some help at the end. So I would say Come Wander With Me. There you go. Brienne's like, LMAO, vegetarian zombies, sign me up, man. I'm seeing that shit. We had a comment from Henry, say, hell yeah, Bo. Thank you, sir. Threw me a heart. Here's the next one from Mayanne, Cinderella. Wow, congrats, Grande, 1K. You definitely deserve it. I love absolutely everything about your show. So glad Sean sent me the link to your channel. Yeah, no, I was told by a few people that Sean shared me out. So I appreciate that. I really do, Sean. Diva's Diva especially. We haven't gotten to her questions yet, but she told me that like Sean said all this nice stuff and said that he wants to be as good as me. I was like, holy shit, like I'm flattered by that. So thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I really do. But back to Man's comment. I love absolutely everything about your show. So glad Sean sent me the link to your channel. Everything is amazing from the knowledge to the rants. Don't ever change, my friend. Heart. Thank you. My first question is, what was the first horror movie you ever watched? Second is, when are we meeting up for drinks? I'm not that far from the city. I'm just down by the bay in Westchester. Maybe you could one day cover Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Oh, wow. Well, hey, I would love to meet up with you guys. Absolutely. If you want to do it, we would be more than happy. I know Curly said that she wants to come to the city at I'm sorry, not Curly, Rainbow. So if you wanted the 5 of us could meet up, maybe we could do a whole, we'll do a group chat in Instagram or something. And we'll figure out, pick a day and then go. Even if we all went out to dinner, that would be so cool. I think that's the beautiful thing about this. YouTube is such a cool double-edged sword, and the fact that you can meet all these wonderful people, and then some of them, if they live by you, we met me, Curly, and Anthony. We went out for pizza and a horror movie. It's such a small world when that shit happens, and I'd love to meet you all someday. I know some point this year I want to do a convention again, and I would love to let you guys know if I'm going, and then maybe you guys go and we can meet up, when YouTube horror channels collide. Just, it's cool, man. It's a small world. So hopefully soon is the answer to that question. And what is the first horror movie you ever watched? Actually, that one was Friday the 13th. That was the one. And then maybe the Buffy the Vampire Slayer with Christy Swanson. One of those two. How can a zombie be a vegetarian? So the guy, how it goes, Brienne, is the movie is the guy that gets turned is like a pussy. Like, he's very like wimpy and lame, and I'm riding in a car with a girl. Like, he's very wimpy. And then when he changes, he becomes a vegetarian zombie, because they're saying that like he can't be evil or eat meat. He's just still a vegetarian. He's a good guy. So fucking stupid. It's a horrible movie. Hey man, hey West. Yeah, no, it's horrible. It's a bad one, man. It's a bad one. Next questions, and now we're at Brienne's questions. There we go. Wow. The second winner. Brienne was the second winner. Congrats, Grani. This is wonderful. Here are my two questions. What horror movie ending would you redo and how? 2, what is your favorite Twilight Zone episode and why? What horror movie ending would I redo? Wow. And then what? And wow. Okay. So the Twilight Zone, favorite Twilight Zone episode. So favorite Twilight Zone episode, I'm going to go with, I would say 5 characters in search of an exit. I love that. I think that's my favorite one. I think it's just so good. It's the army, the bagpiper, the clown, the ballerina, and the hobo. They all wake up in this like hole, and they don't know where they are. They don't know who they are or why they're there. And then, of course, the whole twist at the end is the army major gets out, and they're all toys, and they're toys for the unloved. That's who they are. They're the unloved. I always thought that was just a great, when I was a kid and I first watched it, I was in such amazement and shock. And like, to me, that's what that show is. It's all the wonders and speculation is what's going on. And then when you finally find out what is going on, you're like, whoa, that blew my mind. There's plenty of ones though. Willoughby is great. Walking Distance is great. The new Exhibit is great. I love The Obsolete Man. I love The Howling Man. The Howling Man would be up there too, where they have the devil himself. They have the devil locked up in the cage, and he convinces the guy to let him out, and because he doesn't believe he's the devil. I love that one. I love A Nice Place to Visit, where the guy, he thinks he's in heaven, but he's in his own personal hell. There's a lot of great zones. So all of those I just said would be great. I would say 5 characters is my favorite though. And then a horror movie ending I'd redo. I would redo the ending of House of a Thousand Corpses, because I think that's a movie that like desperately fucking collapses in the last 15 minutes or so. Like, it's really good until you get to the last 15 minutes, and then it's like the movie didn't know where to end. And it's just kind of like, even Rob Zombie, I think, admitted that he just threw money at it and didn't know what to do. So I would say that one. I would try to change that ending a little bit. Like the whole Dr. Satan stuff in the ground and all that stuff, it just doesn't work. It doesn't fit with the rest of the movie. I would have had the finale be with the protagonists and the family, and maybe just the family reigning supreme, or like the girl escapes the family, and then Captain Spaulding picks her up, and then it's like back to the house we go, which that is partially the ending. But the whole stuff in the under like the well, that stuff doesn't work. It just feels like it belongs in another movie. So that stuff I didn't like. Let's go. Next comments here. Death Central 2218. Awesome to hear, mate. Happy for you. You deserve it. Number 1, question 1. What is your favorite killer toy, puppet, or doll from a horror movie or show? And if you could do a sequel or prequel to any movie, what would it be? Favorite killer toy, puppet, or doll? I'm going to go Twilight Zone again. I'm going to go Willie. I think Willie the puppet is so scary, man. I think that is like one of the scariest freaking characters in all of horror. I love Willie the puppet, man. That's just evil. Like, you made me real. You made me this way. I love that. Absolutely love that, man. I think that's great. Love that one. If you could do a sequel or prequel to any movie, what would it be? Wow. Well, I said that this one would be a cool one to do like a sequel to. I would like to see Sleepaway Camp 4 with. I honestly would love to have seen the Romero 90s Dead film. I think that would have been the one that, like, that's one of those movies that didn't happen that I wish did. But I think it would have been a lot better than Land of the Dead if he had done it in the 90s. So yeah, I would say that one. That would be the one for me for sure. John, redo the end of Bay of Blood. Okay, yeah, that's true. The ending of Bay of Blood is quite bad. That's a movie where I would say the ending of Jeepers Creepers is one that like desperately needed to be changed. Like, there's some horror movies that just don't quite stick the landing. And that's one of them. Jeepers Creepers is just like it's so good until the finale. You're like, wait, what? Like the whole sequence in the police station is just garbage. I hate the ending of Jeepers Creepers. I think Joyride is one where the theatrical ending I don't like, but I like the alternate cut. I like the alternate cut ending where it's like 30 minutes of a different ending. I thought that worked. I would say Motel Hell is one that I think could have had a better ending. There's a few. I just watched the one where the couple wakes up in a town. Oh, I love that one. That's a great one. Yep. Stop over to Quiet Town. I thought you'd say the end of Halloween ends with Michael Myers and the meat grinder. Oh no. Oh man, that's brutal. That's maybe if I'm changing the ending of Halloween Ends, we're gonna have what's his name, Corey Cunningham, like maybe like come back to life at the end and like do Michael Myers set up another horrible trilogy. But it remains to be seen. The end of Bad Blood is fucking hilarious. Yeah, but I don't know. I always thought it was like whack compared to everything else in that movie. So yeah, that is neither here nor there. Let's see. Next questions here. Dan says, congrats, my brother. You deserve it. What is your favorite Royal Rumble? And do you think Kenny Two Gloves will be a Steeler franchise QB for the next 5 to 10 years? Favorite Royal Rumble. Love the 92 Rumble. It ain't fair to Flair. I love that Rumble. I love the 03 Rumble for some reason. I always really liked that one. I love the 08 Rumble in the Garden. I really like the 2013 Rumble. 2012 Rumble's good. The 98 Rumble with Stone Cold is great. 2004, I know it's like erased, but it's forgotten. I would say the 05 Rumble. I think the 05 Rumble is the best. I love the 05 Rumble. That would be my pick. Best Royal Rumble, 2005. I think that's a perfect Royal Rumble. And then number 2, do you think Kenny Two Gloves will be the Steelers franchise QB for the next 5-10 years? I personally love Kenny Pickett. I know that it's unpopular and people don't like him and say that they need to move on from him. You're not giving him enough of a chance because the guy's a winner. He's done nothing but win. And his fourth quarter rating has been really, really good. I know obviously his first 3 quarters he struggled, but he had the worst offensive coordinator in the world. You have a poor O-line. I think you got to give him time. I think he's the guy, but the NFL doesn't really think the way I think. Like if he struggles this year, if like through 8 games, they're 3-5 and he has like a bad QBR, they'll dip him. Like he really, if they don't start like 6-2 and he's not playing well, that'll be the end of him. Like the NFL is not for long. If you don't prove yourself early and often, they will cut you. And that's the problem with the league, man. They don't let these quarterbacks, what they do is they throw them right into the deep end and say, swim. And unfortunately, a lot of them end up drowning. Meanwhile, in the old days, they would have time to work and, learn their craft behind the veteran and then, ease their way into becoming a starter in the league. And, you look at a guy like Jordan Love, that's what he did right now. And it's paid off, but then you have some guys that, 3 weeks into their career, they're thrown into as the starter for an 0-3 team. And if they don't miraculously take the team to the playoffs, they're a bust. I don't know. I don't think they give these guys enough chance or time to grow. I think patience is key. And if I'm the head of that organization, Kenny's the guy, and there's no doubt about it. But 5 to 10 years, man, I don't know. I hope so. I really hope so. But it all depends on their patience. Mateo says 2002 Rumble, HHH for life. That's an awesome Rumble, too. I think it comes down to like Kurt and Triple H, Stone Cold, Mr. Perfect. That's a good Rumble as well. I like that one. There's plenty of good Rumbles out there. Only a few bad ones, like 2015 is bad, 2014, 99, some of the earlier Rumbles. Those are the only like bad Rumbles. Grant, I haven't watched a Royal Rumble in a long time. Shit, I couldn't tell you the last Royal Rumble I watched. Congrats, really took off. You deserve it. These are from Rusty. Thank you so much, Rusty. What's a horror film you really love, 80s to now, that most seem to dislike and rag on very much, but you champion it anyway? If you could have your dream sequel, prequel to a horror film or franchise that seems to be doomed or never got one or any more, what would it be? Wow. Okay, these are interesting questions. Horror film I really love that doesn't seem that gets ragged on. Wow. It Follows gets kind of ragged on, although it does have its people do like it. 80s to now, horror movies that I really like to get fucking shit on. Yeah, it follows is one for sure. That I just so many people tell me how bad that movie is, and I'm like, dude, I don't understand. Like, I like It Follows. I don't get the hatred there. Um, I'm trying to think ones that fucking people hate, but I love. This is tough. This is tough because it's like I'm usually see the other way. Like people love it and I hate it. That would be a lot easier because Hereditary. That'd be a lot easier for me. I'm trying to think ones that I herald, but most people don't. I would say I herald the Blob remake. I really like the Blob remake. Not a lot of people like that. Shawnee Smith and I think that's a good movie. Always like that one. Directed by the guy who did Dream Warriors and The Mask, Chuck Russell. I think that's a good movie. Um, I'm looking here. Mother Tears. Mother Tears would be one for sure. I always liked Mother Tears. Like from the first time I watched it, I was like, wow, we are back at it, man. And then I don't know, just from there, just everyone was like, fuck this movie, it sucks. I'm like, dude, I don't see that. I don't see a bad movie here, but I don't know. To each their own. It's definitely an acquired taste, I guess, of a movie, but that's just me. The Horror Cat Dad is in the house. Blob remake is awesome. I agree. Does everyone like The Lodge? Not really. That's another one. I said that before. I really like The Lodge, but it just seemed to be a movie that everybody kind of hated. So I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, I would say some of those for sure. Some of the ones I just said. And then as far as if I could have a dream sequel prequel to any horror film so this doesn't have to be franchise. I'm gonna say, like, give Madman its sequel. Give Madman its fucking sequel. It deserves it. I would say, give me those fucking movies. So I like It Follows in the Blob remake too. I like both those movies a lot. I definitely do. The Lodge grew on you. Awesome. I don't like The Lodge. Fair enough. A lot of people didn't like it. Yeah, I didn't care for it. I remember that was like the big debate at the place I used to work at. It was like The Lodge or Hereditary. I was like, I think The Lodge is much better, but I don't know. A lot of people were like Hereditary. So I know Brad's with me on that one. We're Team Lodge there. And me and Dana are the Hereditators. That was the greatest thing ever when we were called Hereditators on Dana's stream. But yeah, no, that's definitely one. I would say Madman is the one I would do the sequel to for sure. Let's see. Nick Reap is next. Congrats, my brother. Beyond deserved. I hope the trend continues. Any horror movies you've seen that were so great but absolutely ruined by the ending, both creatively and financially? Well, I already said it. House of Thousand Corpses, I would say, is the answer to that. If you had to write the next Saw movie, what would your premise be? Wow. I mean, Saw 11 is coming out in September, so we're already 10 months away from the next Saw movie. I personally would just go fucking fan fiction with it. Like I would do a movie in between Saw 2 and 3. You'd have Tobin, Costas, and Amanda or Shawnee Smith all together, and like I would do a movie with that trio because we only ever saw that trio in one scene. Give me one movie with that trio, and I think it would be so cool. Like I think that would be so cool to see all them together, planning a game and interacting, because the one time we do see them interact, it's like tension filled. And I would love to have seen that, like a movie of that, maybe a game gone wrong where they planned it out this way and it didn't go the way they planned. And like one's got away that shouldn't. And you could totally do something different with it. With Saw, it's like they've done 11 of them. So you have to try to do something different at this point to me. But at the same time, the Saw train's rolling. People are buying their Jigsaw popcorn buckets, so they're going to do same shit, different day, my friends. Don't look forward to anything new in that franchise because it's all been done before, and unfortunately, that's kind of just how it is. But next question's here. Dr. Howdy, congrats and well deserved, my brother. What is the most twisted love story in a movie of all time? 2, what's your least favorite sequel of a beloved franchise? Most fucked up love story. You could say Necromantic. You could say Bad Biology. You could say Macabre. Macabre would be up there. Macabre is crazy. Macabre is a Lamberto Bava joint where this woman loses her husband in a car accident and the guy loses his head. And basically the entire rest of the movie, she's acting weird. And these people are like, what the fuck? What's up with you? And the twist is she's keeping her husband's decapitated head in her refrigerator and doing like sexual things with it. So if that's not a fucked up, twisted love story, I don't know what is. I think Macabre takes the cake there. That's pretty crazy. But there's enough. I mean, there's Spring. That's a good like love horror movie. There's what other good like fucked up romantic horror movies are there? And there's a ton. I would say Macabre though. Put me on the spot here. Let's see. Did Grande Seesaw X? I did. I didn't love it like everyone else. I thought it was like, if you weren't connecting them to the other movies, it might have been fine. But like when you try to connect them, it just was sort of a mess to me. But I don't know. I didn't hate it, but I certainly didn't love it either. It fell apart. The last like 30 minutes, it fell apart to me. I loved Saw X. I saw it in the theater with my mom. Oh man, she was disgusted. Oh my God. Talk about bonding time with a parent. Mom, let's go see Saw X. My least favorite sequel of a beloved franchise. Halloween 2018, no doubt about it, because it is responsible for the Scream reboots that we got. It was responsible for the Texas Chainsaw 2022 bullshit that we got. It was responsible for the Friday 13th show that we will get. It's responsible for the direction horror has taken these past few years, and it's a disgrace. That movie is being ripped off. The Exorcist. The reason we're going to have a trilogy of that is because of it just not even for how bad it is, because I think the Scream movies are probably worse, but of what it caused, you have to say that one to me, because it just absolutely started the worst snowball effect ever. How can you not mention? I think I didn't I mention Necromantic? Audition, love horror movie. Yeah, that's definitely a love horror movie. Sure. Bedeviled. Are you excited for the first Omen prequel? No, that's another one. It looks like it's taking that formula. That formula sucks. New Exorcist. Yeah, no, I didn't even bother with the New Exorcist, man. Look like shit. Mernzy's got the next questions here. The best place to be on a Thursday night. Much love, brother. Excited for another year of sharing many laughs with you, homie. Thank you, Mernzy. We love you too. Besides horror, what's your favorite genre of film? That's a good one. Favorite genre of film? I like dramas. I like fucked up movies. I like anything Lynch does. Like, granted, they're not really horror movies that he does. At least most of them. I don't know. I'm more into like filmmakers. Like I'm more of a guy where like I want to pick a filmmaker to follow, and then like I'll hopefully they'll switch it up. Like there are a lot of filmmakers that try to do something different every time out, genre wise, and those are the filmmakers I like to follow. Like Tarantino. You watch a lot of his movies, not many of them are the same. Like you could tell that the writing is similar, but the plot, stories, angles are all different, and I think that's a big thing for me. That stuff for sure. So yeah, I'm more of instead of genre guy, I'm more of a filmmaker guy. Like there's just a lot of filmmakers I like to follow and see what they're going to do next. But if I had to say just the genre, I would say drama. I would probably say drama movies. I like dramas. I think there's a lot of good dramas out there. And number two, if you could hang out with one living celebrity for the day, who would it be and why? Cheers, buddy. Any living celebrity? Huh. Any living celebrity. So it doesn't have to be horror. You know what? I have to say Pamela Springsteen. I would love to spend a day with Pamela Springsteen and talk her ear off about these movies and even, anything, her entire career, like with her photography. Why'd she get into acting? Why not? What was it like being engaged to Sean Penn? Like she's such an interesting person. And I feel like she's never been asked any of these questions. Like she's my dream interview. If there's ever anyone I'd want to interview, she would be the one. I would love to interview her. So yeah, that Pamela Springsteen for sure. But okay, yeah, so we got that one. Next questions here. Jake, Bloody F and Gore here. Congrats, bro. You deserve 1 million. Slashers versus zombies, which is the better subgenre? Okay, and honestly, who is the best scream queen? I feel Jamie Lee is so overrated and doesn't actually have a good scream. I'd agree with that. Love you, brother. Thank you. Love you too, man. Best scream queen, I'm going to go Marilyn Burns. Nobody's got a better scream than Marilyn Burns, man. When Marilyn Burns screams, you feel that shit. That's blood-curdling screaming. Love Marilyn Burns. And I would say she did it best. And yeah, Marilyn Burns. Slashers versus zombies. That's tough. There are, from a quality standpoint, zombie movies. From a quantity standpoint, there's more slasher movies that I think are enjoyable than a quantity of zombie movies. But I think zombie movies overall have the better quality. I think your top 10 zombie list would be better than a top 10 slasher list. So I'll say quality zombies, quantity slashers. Don't hate on Corey Cunningham. Oh, he's the worst. Oh, I didn't hear it. Maybe I think I did say necromantic. I'm almost positive. Do you like biopics? Yes, absolutely. The Doors is an interesting biopic. Oliver Stone. I saw the Judy Garland one was pretty interesting. I loved Priscilla. I thought Priscilla was one of the best movies of last year. I loved that biopic. And I didn't really care for the Elvis one. I didn't really care for the Austin Butler Elvis movie, but I liked Priscilla a lot. I thought Priscilla was good. Dan G, man, you almost won one of the giveaways. I think you were top 3 on one of them. Congrats on 1K, my brother. Cheers and 1K and more. Dude, absolutely. And I just answered your questions not 10 minutes ago. So cheers to you too, Dan. So let's see. We don't have too many more here. Yeah, I don't think we're definitely wrapping close here. So let's see. Ghostface Brett, congratulations on 1K. Do you like My Bloody Valentine? And what is your favorite horror remake? I like My Bloody Valentine, the original. I think it's awesome. I like the little song at the end, The Ballad of Harry Warden. I think it's a slasher classic. I think the original My Bloody Valentine is a Canadian slasher classic. It's arguably Canada's greatest slasher. And then as far as what is my favorite horror remake, I really like Dawn of the Dead. I've said it before. The Blob I like John Carpenter's The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing is such the cop-out answer. I feel like it's everybody's favorite remake. I love Night of the Living Dead 90. I think that's a really awesome remake. I'll lean towards that. I'll say Night of the Living Dead 90. I think that's a fucking great movie. I really like Night of the Living Dead 90. I think it's good. It keeps it simple. It improves upon the acting. It definitely works, man. It definitely works. Let me know what your answers were on Messenger. Good luck with the rest of the show. Of course, sure. And yeah, so that was Brett. Next one from Claybo Cop. Congrats, dude, on 1K. So serious questions, which these are not serious here. Did Michael still have his baby teeth when he bit off his mom's nipple in Burial Ground? Sure. How did the monster from Jeepers Creepers legally register a custom license plate? That's a good fucking question. And we will never know the answer to that, my friend. So thank you, Mr. Claybo Klopp. Appreciate the questions here. Let's see. How would you say My Bloody Valentine should have had a sequel? Probably, yeah. I mean, that could have easily been a trilogy back in the day, but for whatever reason, they didn't do it. And then that happened a lot at that time. Mad Men never got a sequel. The Burning never got a sequel. The Prowler never got a sequel. Happy Birthday to Me never got a sequel. A lot of these 81, 82, 83 slasher movies never got a sequel. I always felt that the House on Sorority Row would have been perfect for a sequel, but they never did it. And I know they wanted to. But no, My Bloody Valentine for sure, definitely. Yeah, no, for sure. AJ Zitro's up next, and we're closing in here. What movie upset you so much that you never want to see it again? And number 2, if you could go back, what moment in your life would you do differently? Wow. What movie upset you so much that you never want to see it again? Wow. Easy. Repulsion. Polanski's Repulsion absolutely repulsed me. Like I don't think I will ever watch that movie again because it absolutely made me feel like shit after a while. Like it ended and I was like, I feel like dog shit now. Like I've never felt more down after watching a movie than watching that. And I've seen Schindler's List and Funny Games and depressing films, but man, to me, Repulsion is so effective in what it's trying to do, and it works, man. So I would say that one. I never want to watch Repulsion again, even though it's a brilliant film and has so much to say. And there's been quite a few films to rip it off. I think Repulsion is a movie that is so effective in disturbing you. I really do. So I would say Repulsion for me. And if I could go back, what moment in my life would I do differently? Wow, I'm going to dig deep here on the Grande archives here and the files. I guess we can get personal. Why not? It's a 2.5 hour show. Why not? We'll get personal here. I won't say her name because I don't want it to ever get back to her or anything or anybody that would know this person. But there was a girl in high school that was head over heels for me. And at the time I didn't know, and I was interested in somebody else. And I remember we were friends, me and the girl that liked me on the side. And, I was still pursuing this other girl and, eventually took my shot, didn't work out. And then, I found out afterwards that she liked me and I didn't know what to do about it because I felt bad. I regret not pursuing that. I really do. I regret it, and I feel bad about it to this day because like now she's doing good and happy and with a good guy and everything, but like I regret not being there, and I just didn't know. I was honestly clueless at the time, and it was one of those deals where I saw one thing that I was interested in and didn't realize that's something good to my side, and I regret that to this day because especially now, like where I'm at, and I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to share what's been going on recently, but like horrible. Just I don't know. It's been rough. It's been really rough. So I would say that's a big regret. I wish I could do that over because I think my life would be so much different had I gone that route. I do. That's a big regret for me. So I would say that. And that's an honest to God answer with you. I've had flings and stuff like that and loves and stuff since that, but it is what it is. I dig the Sorority Row remake. Totally guilty pleasure for me. We all have guilty pleasures, my friend. For me, Double Dragon. Okay, that's an interesting pick. That's not one I would think. But yeah, no. Okay, so that's AJ's questions. Last few here. Chris says 2 questions to ask, and thank you, Chris, for commenting. Do you have another movie script in the works? Down by the Bay was incredible, and I would like to see another one of your productions. Well, thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. I do have something in mind. Granted, right now my brain is kind of scrambled, and I don't know. Like I don't know. I want to start working on it, but again, my personal life is kind of a wreck right now, so I kind of want to just focus on me. But once I focus on that, my plan is for now send Down by the Bay to festivals. I really want to send it to certain festivals and see what we can do with that. Like if we get it improved anywhere or denied, like I would love to, if we get denied, tell me why. I would love to know why and go from there. So that would be interesting. Definitely something I want to do with Down by the Bay. But the other one is a laundromat horror movie. And I've told a few people about this, where the idea would be you go into the laundromat and you place hits on people. And then someone, of course, would step too far behind the curtain wanting to know how this place runs. And then the horrors would transpire from there. I would need real funding. I couldn't fund that by myself because we'd have to lease a building. We'd have to really hire a whole crew. I couldn't just do what I did this last time where I paid everybody and my crew was limited to like 5 people. You would really need a whole cast, crew, and production and financing. So hopefully one day I would love that, man. Maybe at the end of the year or around 2025, we could try to get that ball rolling. But the script needs work and it needs to be longer. So that's for that. Are there any horror games in recent years that grabbed your attention? Would you make a horror gaming tier list? Yes. The Quarry was awesome. Until Dawn was amazing. I think that's one of the best horror games out there. The Slender Man game on the PS3 was really cool. And when I ever do a horror game tier maker, probably not, but I would love to one day do like a top 10 PlayStation games. I think that'd be maybe a standalone video would be fun on that. That would be a cool one. Miss C, we're probably thinking with the wrong. No, honestly, that was a situation of I was clueless until it was too late. Like I was literally talking to her about advice of the other girl. And then after it all, I was like, I felt bad that I didn't know. And I just didn't know how to approach it. And then we kind of just drifted. And I feel like I should have just been like, I didn't know, please forgive me. And I think she would have been understanding at the time. I fucked that up. That's a big mistake I made in my life. What movie has made you laugh the most? What movie always makes you cry? What movie has made me laugh the most? And welcome, Kubrick lover. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation would be up there. Clerks is hysterical. Movie that made me laugh the most. I guess best comedies. Big Lebowski is fucking great. Every time I watch Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle is great. Friday is great. All those movies that I just mentioned, I think are hysterical and I laugh every time. I would probably say National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I think there are a few comedies I've seen as much as that. Like I watch it to death and it always makes me laugh. What movie always makes me cry? Grave of the Fireflies will make me cry every time. And Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind will make me cry every time. So those are 2 movies I avoid like the plague now. Hey, Grande, LOL, remake Ruggero Deodato's The Washing Machine. Hell yeah, we could do that. What's the worst film I've ever seen? Creepshow 3. If you're talking about a movie with a budget, Elm Street remake. What film do you want to see that is hard to find? I don't think so. I mean, I've seen, I don't know. I don't have an answer to that one. I think most of the beautiful thing about accessibility is that everything's accessible. Next questions come from Darnell. What are the vibes and how do I win? Well, unfortunately, didn't win, and the vibes tonight have been pretty good. So I appreciate the comment, man. Let's see. JP is the next comments here. 2K subscribers next. Congrats, brother. Let's see. Number one, if you could place yourself in any role in any horror movie, what would it be? Number two, Hollywood calls you to direct the next big horror film with an unlimited budget. Who are the first five actors you're casting? Wow. So if I could place myself in any horror role, what would it be? You know what? Since he just passed away, I would say I would want to be Flyboy. I would want to be Flyboy in Dawn of the Dead. I think I'm a similar personality to him. Like, I feel like I'm clumsy like that sometimes, but I do have a good heart. And I feel like we took it. It's ours. I love when he can't accept the fact that the mall has been taken over. I am so similar to that character. So I would say Flyboy for sure. I would say him. Hollywood calls me to direct the next big horror film with an unlimited budget. Who are the first five actors? Holy shit. That's crazy. Jeffrey Combs, Asia Argento. Those are actors, and that's an actor and actress I would really want to work with. Angela Bettis would be number one. Angela Bettis, Asia Argento, Jeffrey Combs, Ken Foray. Just because the only time I met him, it was an awkward encounter because the guy in front of me pissed him off. So I would like a second chance with Ken Foray to have a better encounter there. That's four. And then I guess I'd have to pick like a mainstream actor. Let's throw Leonardo DiCaprio in there just to say Leonardo DiCaprio was in a movie I directed. That would be so fucking cool. Have you ever met anyone that reminds you of Borat? Yes. In fact, I think you know who that is. Hey, Kubrick, Grave of the Fireflies, amazing film, but definitely a tough watch. Dude, so depressing. Such a depressing film. What's the dumbest film you've ever seen? Wow. I don't know. There are plenty of dumb films out there. And Birdemic, any of these movies that try to be bad on purpose, I generally don't like. To me, like Troll 2 and The Room and movies that get over organically because they're so bad that they're good, like that's why I like movies like that. I don't like movies that try to be bad, like The Incredible, Amazing Bulk. Those are bad movies, in my opinion. Those are dumb films. Kal-El is here. Hey, damn, what did the guy in front of you do? The guy in front of me? What do you mean? I don't understand the question. Sup Kal-El. What is the most overrated film you've ever seen? Hereditary. I think it's a bad film, and everyone says it's like the second coming. So I don't know. Crazy Fat Ethel 2. Crazy Fat Ethel 2 is pretty bad. Most underrated movie I've ever seen. Bad Times at the El Royale. I love Bad Times at the El Royale. I don't understand how that was not a fucking huge hit, and it just fell by. And yet, I know everybody really liked Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I liked it too, but I thought Bad Times at the El Royale was way better. But one movie made a lot of noise. The other movie did not. Say, hey, Cal. Let's see. Okay, so that was JP's questions. Let's see. Okay, Billy Henry. The third winner. What is a movie that you consider horror, but most people do not? Number two, what is a movie that most people consider horror that you do not? Okay, so movie that most people consider horror and I consider horror that people don't, and one that they consider horror that I don't. So one that they consider horror and I don't would be The Sixth Sense. I think The Sixth Sense is not a horror movie. I know it's classified as that, and some people, if you ask them if it is a horror movie, it's the highest grossing horror movie ever. The Sixth Sense is a thriller. That's a thriller movie to me. It absolutely is to me. The other one, movie that I consider horror that wouldn't be considered, I would say Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me, because I think that's a horror movie about the self-destruction of living a double life. I really, really do. I think that's like a true character study horror movie of the self-destruction of the prom queen, Laura Palmer, of this girl who is the prom queen, is the, shining bright in the brightest shining light in the school. And then, on the other hand, she has this dark, evil side, in these nightclubs and doing all these things that she doesn't want to do and going down these paths she doesn't want to take. I would say that that is a horror movie, and that's probably what's gravitated me so much to it since first watching it. Thanks to Mernsey, I'd never seen the movie until Mernsey suggested it for his top 5 David Lynch episode when we did together, and I was blown away by it to the point where it's become like my second favorite Lynch so much. You said oh, that's right. So he didn't have enough money to pay for shit, and like he had already signed all this stuff, so Ken was pissed. And then my dumbass, hi, Ken, nice to meet you. You're my favorite movie. And he was so mad at the other guy that, like, if you see the picture of me and Ken together, he's like he's pissed. And he was at the guy before me. So it was just a bad encounter. It was like I was so upset, man. That was such a fucking, missed opportunity. Once Upon a Time is up there for overrated. Yeah, what horror movies legit scared the crap out of you? Session 9 scared the shit out of me. Funny Games, I think to this day scares the shit out of me. I think Pet Sematary is a scary movie. Like when she's going to deliver the soup to Zelda and she's all like contorted and shit. And thank you. Like, fuck. And when the father gets punched out at his son's funeral and the son's like, you see the little hand pop out of the fucking coffin. I think that's a scary movie. Like I think Pet Sematary was up there too. So I would say those 3. That I would say, yeah, fucking Session 9, fucking Pet Sematary, and Funny Games, the original, are definitely up there. Bad Times at El Royale, pretty legit, and prefer that one over. I would too. I'd say the same thing, but I was alone in that. Those singing scenes in Royale, yeah, I liked that too. Terminator 1, that's it. Totally, that's a horror movie. I would agree with that. Let's see. The Sixth Sense is totally a thriller. Horror Cat. Hey, Sixth Sense has horror elements and was marketed as horror, so people consider that. I see both sides. I do too, but I don't know. What director consistently make good films and bad films? Tim Burton. What film is not scary to you that others do not? Movies that's scary to others but not to me. I hate to keep saying Hereditary, but that's one of them. Other movies that I found. I would also, but the one before, Inside, that scared the shit out of me. I thought Inside was a scary fucking movie. Probably Poltergeist. Poltergeist never scared me like it did most people. A lot of people say that like that's like the creme de la creme or the top movie that scared them, but I don't know, not me. Next question is from Devious Diva. Last 4 questions here, guys. What horror movie scares you the most that you never want to watch it again? So we've answered Repulsion would be the answer to that. If you decided to remake a classic horror film, what would it be? I think we'd go with I think, yeah, we answered that one before too. Dracula versus Frankenstein. I think that would be one that, granted, that's not a classic. If it had to be a classic, like it had to be a remake of a great horror movie, then Dracula. I would love John Grande's Dracula. I would love to remake, just because there's been so many adaptations. It's not something like Halloween, like Grande's going to try to remake Halloween. Like it's not an untouchable. So many people have done it. Like I would love to throw my name in the hat with a, Todd Browning, Jess Franco, Francis Ford Coppola, guys that directed Dracula movies. That would be really cool to me. So I would say John Grande's Dracula. Last 2 questions here from Brian. Congrats, brother. You got the whole world in your hands. Who wins this tag match? Sleepaway Camp 2 and The Shining versus Sleepaway Camp 3 and A Clockwork Orange. And number 2, what is your first horror movie you remember watching? So the last question we've answered like 4 times. It would be either Friday the 13th or the Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie with fucking Christy Swanson. And this is the last question tonight. Wow. Who wins this tag team match? Sleepaway Camp 2 and The Shining versus Sleepaway Camp 3 and Clockwork Orange. Wow. I would say Sleepaway Camp 3 and A Clockwork Orange, just because, they're side by side with me every week, these two, Sleepaway Camp 3 and A Clockwork Orange. So I'll say those. The Shining, I would say I don't like The Shining as much as Clockwork Orange, and I don't like Sleepaway Camp 2 as much as Sleepaway Camp 3. So I would say these two would win the tag match there. But that would be a barn burner. That would absolutely tear the house down. Never get out of bed again. Yeah, Hereditary. Yeah, I'm a Hereditary for life. What horror film will you never watch? I don't know. I don't ever want to watch like the August Underground stuff again or the vomit gore movies or that. I'm good on that shit, man. I've seen most of the craziness though. I really have. Very few that like I've avoided, for whatever. But Yeah, guys, listen, we've been at this 2 hours and 40 fucking plus minutes. This has been a really fun giveaway show. To the winners, congratulations to you. Of course, to recap, it was Ed, Brianne, and Billy. You were our 3 winners. So I'll reach out to you guys and we'll see what you guys want to do with the prizes. I know Ed said he wanted to do a show of his choice, so that's awesome. Brianne, I think either a salad gift card or whatever, we'll be in touch. And then Billy, the same thing. I don't think Billy was here tonight, so I'll reach out to him. I'm sure he'll be stoked to hear the news. Hey, I'm sure he'll take the free 4K, probably knowing him. But Smile overrated. Okay, definitely Cal. Facts, Cal, just like Megan. Megan was overrated. Remake Halloween 3 because it sucks, but has a good premise. I like Halloween 3. Next goal, 5K. You deserve them, John. Thank you, Mateo. I appreciate the kind words as always. Congrats, Grande. Great show as usual. Thank you, Brianne. Congrats to you. Okay, nice stream, Grande. Thank you so much, Brian. I appreciate that. But everybody, thank you so much for joining. This was a lot of fun. Definitely need this pep in my life. So thank you guys so much for watching. And we will catch you next week. And yeah, we get the people saying all the onlys. Okay, we will catch you next time only on the Graveyard. Too sweet. Peace. Good night, everybody. Have a safe, happy, healthy weekend.